Inside Stone's Gambling Hall in Sacramento, California, you'll find Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Recognized for its innovative, healthy global cuisine, Sammy's offers menu selections made with local, organic ingredients. Indulgent options like truffle fries, duck tacos, artisan wood-fired pizzas, fresh salads, and more, along with an eclectic selection of craft beers and classic handcrafted cocktails. Plus, with 40 big screen TVs, Sammy's is also the perfect place to catch your favorite game. Satisfy your craving anytime, 24/7, tableside or in the dining room at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar at Stone's Gambling Hall.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Stone's Live Poker. Hope everyone had a excellent 4th of July. I spent time with family, blah, 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 all the good stuff.
Absolutely. Hopefully still have all the same fingers and
Came back
toes.
with all my appendages, so it's good.
It's good.
Awesome. It is 10:25.
Always, yes.
Biggest game in Northern California, and our good friend Justin's put together one hell of a lineup.
Oh, yeah.
This ought to be good. This ought to be fun. We've got all our favorites. 80s in the game. Eric, also known as Mailman, TD, Harlan, Nat, Mr. Seth Curry, Alan, Brian, and Anthony. Everyone. It's like a murderer's row, like poker.
Yeah. No, this is all the guys. You're like, all right, so this is a game.
And 10:25. I mean, this is big.
Yeah. No, this is not. This is the opposite of small. I totally agree.
No, it ought to be a really, really juicy game. Everyone's pretty deep here too. I mean, no one bought in small. Everyone's rolling at least 100 bigs, if not deeper. God, TD's in.
Yeah, I mean, a quick look at
really
this
deep.
shows like, I don't know, 32, 33,000 on the table, and we're just getting started. There's like there's no rebuys yet. Like, let's do it.
And we're gonna keep going after that. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
So without further ado, if we're ready, let's get down to the table and start running through players. In seat 1, we have 80. I'm not sure how much 80 is starting tonight with. I'm gonna looks about 2K maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Somewhere around there. Eric is in seat 2, also known as Mailman. Mailman is in for around 3,000. TD, who's away from the table right now, TD's got about 9K in front of him. TD's a beast. He's a monster.
Yeah, just stacks of white.
Yeah. Harlan in seat 4. Harlan's got about 3,000 in front of him. Nat, the graphic says Nat's got 3,000. I'm sorry, it says that Nat has 3,000. Look at the Nat stack. Nat's a lot deeper than that.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Nat looks like he's probably close to 10K right there. Seth is sitting on about 3,300. Alan's got about 5K. Brian 2,700, and Anthony in seat 9 about 3,500.
Now, I'm not sure. I think Anthony actually, right before we actually went live with the stream, I think Anthony might have, I heard he got involved in a pretty large pot.
Yeah, like 6K plus pot.
Yeah, 6K plus pot. I think he was up against somebody else's aces who flopped an ace and then rivered a boat. And it was like he's only drawing against quads, and yeah, it got nasty.
Oh, baby.
Got bad. So I think that's why Anthony might be stepping away, as Veronica would say, to call his mother and go check that out. Maybe come back here in a minute.
So, a couple of regulars. Angry Pollock, Veronica's in the chat box with us. Rick and Barstow, all the usual suspects. Poker Wiz 13.
Chips on the
And we
left.
got graphics.
Nice, cruising.
So we love having Seth in the game. I was a little bit sad to hear that the Kings had rescinded their offer to him. Dallas is what I heard.
I'm sure every time he's out here, though, we're going to see him here. We'll see him on the stream again. This is not his last. Over to Mailman, he's going to make the call there.
Oh, it's up to you to let. I like to play with Noah.
So it looks like Eric made it about 80 to go on the button with Ace-Jack. Nat, he's going to defend the big blind. Queen 7. And Queen 5-6, just like that. The power of Nat.
The power of Nat.
Pretty dry board, and Eric's going to continue. Makes it 110, and Nat's got an easy call. Deuce of diamonds on the turn.
Nat's going to check it over, and Eric's going to check behind. King ball in the river.
Now there's another card that if Nat checks, Eric might think about repping here.
Yeah, that would definitely be believable, but Nat is not going to give him that opportunity. Nat's going to come out and say, "No, you're going to pay me."
And at the same time, I think it's also like Nat probably recognizes that that card's going to get checked back a lot the way this hand is played, and he's hoping maybe that Eric might get a little bit sticky there. Eric's not falling for it. Steelers 40-40 in the chat. Asset is Kirk. Yes, that's pretty solid. I think we had talked. I mentioned on one of the previous broadcasts. I talked about or talked to a couple of players who played more hands with him than I have, and they said for a player or a poker player who's doesn't do this for a living, makes his money in other lights, plays very, very well.
Yeah, no, and what I was saying too, I think we touched base on this last time, is he is just an athlete in everything that he does. So even something like this, it's like even though he might have the money to call and it might be less to him than it is to somebody else, right? Yeah. He's not just sloughing off cash. I mean, he's debating every call. He's pretty, he's methodical in how he plays, which is awesome.
A pretty solid, tight, aggressive game.
Yeah.
Brian's gonna limp in kings here.
Yeah.
And everyone's gonna come along.
First time I beat Brian in like 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10?
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that flop. 3-4-4, straight Boatski for Mailman right on the flop here against Pocket Kings here with Brian. So he's going to take the advantage and just fire right out.
But I was looking at this thing on Instagram, right? It said,
And I like this check by Brian.
that is
Gerald, you're one Gerald, you're
the way that is king. The big three.
So airball on the turn for both of them. Not that either of them are really looking for a draw here. And Brian with Kings is going to check over to Eric, who's going to fire out pots 350. Eric's going to put in a bet of 255.
On a 4-4-3 flop, after Brian just limped in pre, it's going to be tough for Eric to put him on kings. Both players are probably thinking the other's going to flush draw here. And Eric's just going to try to figure out how much he can get paid. Hoping that maybe Brian's got a hand like Jack 10 of diamonds, 10 9 of diamonds, something like that, where he might be able to call a river bet here.
And it looks like he's going to fire maybe 355, something like that? 355, which is actually a pretty solid little value bet there. I mean, he wants Brian to call this and pay him off, obviously.
I think Brian is going to call.
Oh, yeah. Because I think he plays a lot of other pairs very similarly. I mean, anywhere 5s to jacks to queens, he plays almost the same way here, Eric does. So, nice hand.
Yeah, it was tough for Eric to put Brian on kings there. I think if he had, he might have bet a little larger even. But he's really trying to get value. I mean, it's really hard for him to try to just get value on that board. I mean, you really got to have, specifically they're like a really sticky pair of sixes.
Yeah. Now,
like a 10 with a diamond draw.
Now, did Brian limp with kings?
He limped kings.
So, and here's the deal: is I think that even if Brian actually comes in for just a small kind of like pot builder raise, if Eric looks him up with threes, he's even going to lose more money on that pot. Once that flop hits.
Yeah.
Then he's going to start just dumping more cash into there. So, I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know we were playing.
Wow.
I didn't know we were playing.
Brian.
Shipping it.
Open shoves 440.
Did you hear the table talk?
No.
I think somebody said, I don't know we were playing a tournament.
Wow.
So, Brian here is just looking for some fresh chips. He just wants some chips that have some better mojo on them.
And AD is waking up right behind him with ace queen.
And Seth has ace queen too. And Harlan's got ace 10. All the aces are pretty much busy. And the thing is that everybody everybody just saw him lose that hand, right? So everybody knows that this is, primarily pretty much just a steam push. So at this point, you're thinking, Okay, well, I mean, do I want to be the guy that calls? And I have all these other players behind you. What if one of these other players wakes up with a bigger hand and then tries to re-raise for protection and blow you off? I mean, it's...
Wow, 80 lays down the ace queen.
I think if 80...
TD makes the call.
If 80 had nobody behind him, he insta-calls. But
You can't see TD's hand, but TD's made the call. Harlan. Ace 10 suited.
Harlan's honestly just thinking about like value here. He's like, okay, so if that's 440, you call 440. If I call, he calls. This could develop into a stupidly oversized pot, actually. Pretty quickly.
I wonder if Harlan's wondering if he can push 80 out of the pot.
He falls and he's like, no, that's the
cards.
smart.
I love
He
it.
passes cards over there. I bet 80 looks at that. He's like, you'll never believe that I folded better, right? And
Right.
he's just like, what?
And now Nat. And Nat's thinking that there might be a little side pot he might be able to play here with TD. Both players are pretty deep.
Oh, really?
Nat's got over, yeah, there it is. There's the graphic. Nat's got over 7,700 in front of him. And TD's 9K deep.
God, and you still have Seth with Ace Queen.
I was gonna do the same thing in my hair tonight.
Yeah.
Seth, but I just thought that would kind of be like kind of awkward.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. It's like when you both wear the same thing. I get it. Next time,
Yeah.
try it in your beard next time. Down the chops.
I wish I could pull off the look. Seth comes along as well.
All right, so a little pot here, 1,300 bucks to a flop. Let's see some cards. This could be fun. Watch Brian just hit the world here. Watch him just flop quads on everyone.
Oh, and there's TD's hand now. Now we see TD's hand, ace jack suited.
Wow, so all the aces are dead. There was ace queen, ace jack, and ace 10.
Yep.
All the aces are dead. Wow, and they still give him outs. Now they need each other's. Now they still need each other's outs. Queen jack, queen jack. Queen jack just ruins Brian here. But I think we're only going to see one of these players continue. Let's see, TD fires up. TD bet 300. Relatively small based on the size of the pot. But I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know if you want to get involved in a gut shot here. You're going to see it anyways. Let's see what happens here.
Wow, TD picks up a lot of equity on the turn, but he cannot get there.
Oh,
And
wow.
Brian,
TD's got a world of outs on
take
the turn.
that.
Brian's like, yes! And he's right back. He's like, hey, you know that sucked losing with those kings, but I'm going to take all that right back. I mean, I don't think Brian's 100% even, but he's not. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't know.
always nice to get the triple up.
We just made, yeah, so he just made like almost another 900 something bucks. Is that what he gave off in Kings? About 900? Like 2, 3 here, 2, 3 there?
Yeah, somewhere in
That's
there.
about right, yeah. Nice comeback, man. All in what, 2 hands? Strong.
Winner. And Harlan who pitched the ace 10 pre-flop.
What you have, 6s right now?
Had the worst ace, but he had a feeling.
The worst ace, and all the aces were gone. He's literally got the worst ace, only playing his kicker, and it's totally good. How does that happen? How does that happen?
So, new player Jason now sits down in seat 9. Didn't see how much he bought in for.
Play the rush. Oh, I love the table talk glimpses. We've all said it. Play the rush, do it. 8 deuce, get all in. And Seth waking up with aces here on the button. The best spot to have them.
And I think Brian, if I'm not mistaken, defended 9-5 of spades. Queen, deuce.
Queen, duck. Brian checks over to Seth. Seth's gonna fire, what, $1.25, something like that? $1.05. And Brian's thinking like, man, these have been a crazy couple hands for me. Are we gonna get extra splashy? No, we're not.
Wow, and Brian lets it go.
No, we're not.
Brian actually had one of the only hands that Seth could actually get value from when we get a flush draw on that board.
Honestly, I think Brian had such a roller coaster ride in the last 2 hands that he's like,
all right,
I'm gonna sit this one out.
I'm done playing, I'm done playing every pot right now.
Here, guys, we're fine. I'm just gonna relax. Take a few breaths.
Poker Wiz 13 asks, does CP Factor ever play this game? I don't know who CP Factor is.
I don't know.
A Twitter handle?
I do not know.
Something, Twitter, Twitch? I'm not
Get
sure.
some clarification, we'll tell you for sure.
It's one of things. It's like everyone with like Twitter handles and Twitch handles,
Yeah.
and then like names and faces. Everyone just kind of runs together for meeting board.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm so glad Angry Pollock can join us in the chat box.
Always. We miss her. We love her. All right, so Eric's going to come in here. I believe he made an 80. And TD right behind looks like he's going to make the call. Oh, I lied. He raised to 235, actually. So that got out some fours.
And here goes Brian.
Brian getting it in. Ace Queen. Man, if Brian doubles up again, wow. And TD's just laughing. I love it. TD's just
Who
smiling.
is this guy? I haven't met this guy before.
So much for just sitting next to hands out.
No, he set up for one hand.
Yeah.
He set up for one. Dude, Brian's a good dude. I wasn't paying attention. I was sitting at a side table the other day, and all of a sudden, just like a chip or two just rains down and hits the table. And it freaked me out. And he's just like, "Hey, wake up over there!" He's just throwing chips across the casino. All right.
Can't see TD's hand.
Now TD did re-raise Eric's original. There we go. King Jack there for TD. And I mean, part of this is like, Brian knows that he's kind of got this like tilty, steamy image right now after the last few hands, and I think that's kind of what TD's figuring out, right? I mean, TD's like, I can't really be ahead here with King Jack. I mean, I doubt he's steaming with 10s or less. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not steaming with 10s or less again after that. So yeah, good fold, TD.
Wild Child 916. Welcome to the chat.
What do you have, Brian? Better tell us now.
Yeah, and there's a difference between Brian just willing to open shove, $400 with sixes. It's another thing when he 4-bet shoves.
Yeah.
It's a whole different range of hands.
Plus, now he's got, whatever. Now he's got like 1,300. Plus, I mean, he's not sloughing off like small amounts now. Now it almost shows like, okay, guys, I'm gonna done that with sixes because I had a couple $100, but I'm not doing the same thing with 1,300 plus.
Yeah.
Harlan. So TD makes it 75. Harlan's gonna call it. Brian's gonna sit out finally. He's like, I like to only play like 2 in every 3 hands. Take a breather. Hop back in. Boom, 358 Rainbow. Gives TD the best hand.
Oh yeah, let me get right on that. I never was supposed to be on that list.
235 in the pot, and 80 is going to put in, it looks like pretty close to a pot size continuation bet, yeah.
No, 80 checked over TD.
I'm sorry, yeah, too many acronyms.
Two
Initials.
letters. Boom, and fires with the best hand. Take it down.
Angry Pollock's question, do I have a soul? No. No, I do not. Am I alive? What?
She's used to talking to dead corpses. That's why. Classic.
Compared to.
You know what? I think this game has already kind of spoke for itself as far as how the night's going to go with action.
Right.
I mean, we've seen like 6 hands, 7 hands, and like most of them have been pretty crazy already. Like
A lot of balls already.
lots of action, lots of fun. We were having this discussion earlier about what do you comfortably sit down at this game with. I think minimum buy-in is 1,000. I know that if I bought it for 1,000, I'd feel like I'm firing $20 in a 1-3 game or something. I'm just like, why do it?
Yeah.
Right? So I think if I'm sitting down, I probably need like 2K to start. I really coming in for less than that.
I knew it.
Yeah, it's really going to limit what you can do.
Well, especially with the way they're playing this game. I mean, this game is obviously even a little bit more spunky than your super normal 10-25.
King 4-5 and Seth's going to fire out with his gut shot and backdoor diamond drop. It's 175.
And 6s are pretty busy right now, but if 1 hits, you can bet we're going to see some fireworks. But we're not going to see that. Jason's going to muck all of Seth's outs here.
80's not a believer.
A non-believer.
He thinks Seth's got more draws than he does kings here. Make the call. 3 on the turn gives 80 an inside straight draw as well. Check, check.
Oh, bingo, bango.
There's the card.
Look at that. And the 2 pocket 6s were busy. Wow. So it's funny because, I guess it's a 4-card straight, so it's a little bit more obvious. But I was going to say, Seat 9 is thinking, man, how did my 6s get there? How did they get there? But now it's obvious that somebody's probably got at least a 1-card straight.
And 80's going to take a stab at it.
And
It'd probably be, obviously Seth's going to raise here, but
80 knows. He's like, just kidding. And 80
it's
is
not a bad bet by 80.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, on that board, the way that hand played out, he's going to get Seth to fold a lot of better hands there. I mean, obviously, Seth's not holding the 7-8.
Well, no, never. And 80 and Seth have played a lot of these live streams together too. So I mean, they're pretty familiar with how each other plays. And no surprise there. And I mean, there's no extra value for Seth there. Like, I mean, he could min raise all day and 80's just insta-bucks, right? I mean, what are you gonna? There's no way you're getting an extra value. The value was actually 80 firing Indy on the river.
Gay Corpse, what's going on?
Yeah, welcome. Can't wait for that Veronica and Friends stream coming up soon enough with Gay Corpse and Friends. We're gonna call it Gay Corpse and Friends.
Gay Corpse and Friends.
Yes.
This is Veronica Chick.
Veronica's not the headliner anymore. It's Gay Corpse. And pocket 6s, is that right? Again for Seat 9? Did he just hold on to them? Or we're not giving them back? We're gonna go 6s 2 hands in a row.
Keepsies.
No take backsies.
Nat opened up the action here.
This could be a fun little hand here. Going to a flop. Boom. Oh, ace 10-10, and look at that. 10-3 flops trips for TD. And looks like checks around to the turn. Boom. Queen, no help for anybody here.
Brings a double flush draw. There's also some more Broadway draws.
Now keep in mind, everybody checked the flop, so TD's gonna fire out of here. Nat also checked his ace on the flop. So now Nat thinking about TD's 205 here. The pot was only at like 105 before this, so it's kind of a massive overbet. I mean, it's almost like, it's almost confusing. So Nat's like, I don't know if I believe you.
Nat probably feels that that's a good card for him. It kind of solved all of his kicker problems.
Yeah. 7 on the river. None of the other players who had 5s and 6s obviously hit their stuff. They don't care. They're gone. But now the pot at 5-10. TD checks. I think TD's obviously worried about kicker issues here. Plus, the spades get there. If he was on a spade draw, then Nat just rivered spades.
I would think that, I mean, you would think that TD, or I'm sorry, Nat being the original raiser preflop, had he flopped the spade draw, would have continued firing. Maybe trying to, rep the ace.
Boom. So 5-10, he's going to fire 330. Is that what that is?
Looks like it. And Nat probably thinks he's trying to get TD off a chop here.
Yeah. It's not enough to make TD run away from this pot, though. I think TD is just going to look him up here and say, you got me, got me. Or, no, TD almost has the stance of a check raise on the river. Ooh. He's posturing. He's thinking about it for sure.
River check raise. He's going to call.
He was thinking about it. Now, and this is one of those instances where if he pulls the river check raise, this is where I already hear little Jake in my head telling me, you're only gonna get called by worse. You're only gonna get called by hands that beat you. Like this is what I hear, Jake. I hear that like unfortunately in my dreams, and then they turn into nightmares. It's true.
I would not have been in love with the river check raise there.
I'm no.
That said, if you want to get levels upon levels, Nat might think if TD check raises there that he's trying to get me off a chop.
Yeah.
And calling for chops is never, in long term isn't profitable. But in spots like that where you might want to feel like, hey, well, I want to get pushed around here.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Alright,
it's funny
so
because when TD was not just posturing there for like Hollywood moments, he was really thinking about doing a check raise. Like he was definitely like, okay, are we gonna do this? So good though. Anyways, TD's gonna take down that pot. Nice hand.
I don't know about that. Last time he said he's got over the Yeti.
And raise to 50 from Nat. Oh, I lied. Nope. By Eric. Everybody's gone. Four, 6, 9, 80 is gonna out flop Eric here. Battle the kickers. Spikes at 4. And 3 on the turn of no help here. Actually, it's gonna give Eric a little gutter ball straight draw. Oh, and he gets one of his outs. So the 7 is gonna give the check mark for Eric here.
Check, check.
Oh.
He's like, man, I knew you were going to do Worse.
Gentlemen, saw an ace, man.
Look at those stacks. 9, 7, 16, 22. Oh man, if we're not over 40K, we're damn close to it.
A lot of money on the
That's
table.
a solid amount of cash.
Like Gay Corpse, like that movie with John Travolta. I don't get it.
Oh, Phenomenon. The movie, Phenomenon. It was filmed in Auburn.
Yeah, it was. Good flick.
Full of useless movie knowledge right here. Just saying.
It's never useful.
True. It's people like you that help me continue to keep going in my quest for movie knowledge. Ah, the good old 10-25.
I mean, you could go more if you want. Minimum.
Brian, man, Brian started out on a roller coaster at this table.
Right?
As you would say, wee!
I kind of wonder what might have gone on before we kicked the stream off, and we saw Anthony getting, we know that Anthony got involved in a pretty messy pot.
I think Anthony is either took off or he's around here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see Ant Doom in the chat room. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him come in and explain what happened earlier, because he was pretty much packing right as we started streaming. All right, we got a raise to 150 from Eric here in the cutoff with King 4 Hearts.
And TD
is going to re-raise it. TD has re-raised Eric twice now. Last time I think Eric made the small raise with like pocket whatever, like 4s or something, and TD popped him again. That's the hand where Brian shoved with ace queen. And I think for in this particular thing, I think TD position's a big part of him, right? So he's obviously on the button now. So he's liking it, he's got position, he's kind of got the front reins on this pot.
Now, as you mentioned before, I mean that TD now is twice stepped on Eric. Nat maybe picking up a pattern here, maybe recognizing that TD's not 3-betting, super tight. He's going to put in a 4-bet. It looks like. Or did he just call? No, that's a 4-bet. 750.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Even Gay Corp's like, man, this game is legit. The action is real. This is real. This is real.
TD without second thought makes a call.
Boom. All right. 5, King, 8, Super Rainbow gives Nat top pair here. And TD's got some middle cards. TD's not looking good, but that has never stopped him from winning a pot before.
Now on this board, it's tough for Nat to get value out of a worse hand. But the thing about it is, I mean, Nat would c-bet this board with air if Nat had put in a 4-bet with
like
ace, jack, like that.
Yeah.
He's going to continue firing here.
Oh, he checks it.
And now he's going to check it.
TD. Now, this is interesting because TD was the original raiser, the original 3-better, and then got 4-bet. And so now, I mean, TD could have a very kind of funky disguised hand here, but unfortunately for him, I don't know if he's going to be able to blow Nat off this hand.
Well, if Nat had, TD's probably thinking to himself, well, if Nat had a hand like jacks, something like that, he might consider check folding because I think TD's, flatting a 4-bet range is going to have a lot of kings there, namely ace king. But I think if you're Nat here, you just check call this puppy down.
Shuffle up and trill. I'm actually keeping an eye on that board. I'll let you know what the bad beat is coming up pretty soon. But I think it's around 50K maybe right now.
Somewhere right there, yeah.
Oh, 57,600. 57.6 is the current bad beat. So TD bet 650. Nat makes the call, and deuce of spades on the turn. No help to anybody. I don't think anybody thinks that helped the draw here. So pot sitting at 3K. Nat's going to check over to TD.
And both these players are still very, very, very deep.
And so TD's going to check behind there. 7 on the river. I think TD knows the only way he's going to win this pot, obviously, is to bet here. Pot sitting at 3K. Option first on Nat.
I think Nat feels that he's got the best hand. I think he's just trying to figure out, what's his best way to extract value. Is to check it over and let TD try to bluff at it. That's the line he opts to take. He checks over to TD.
I mean, obviously he's in check call mode at a minimum. I mean, with this pot, unless TD does something super funky. So I don't know if he wants to. I don't know if he wants to miss the value, the opportunity to bet on the river and just have TD check behind him and get no value out of his hand. But again, like you said,
Trying to get called by worse hands.
Trying to get called by worse. Yeah, and it's a check down.
Would after TD check back? I mean, would he value bet worse than a king there? Would he value bet king jack, king 10, something like that? I mean, how much king jack and king 10 does he have when he flats a 4-bet out of the blinds?
Yeah.
Or when he flats a 4-bet from the blinds.
Crazy.
Gay Corp says bet induce. So what you bet small to try to induce a raise?
I can't wait to see all of our chat room players play.
This is already good to handle.
Silly boys.
I probably would have played the same way that Nat did.
Well, it was, I don't know if I'm firing on the river there.
When it's really
Well, here's the deal. If TD wants to get crafty, yeah, and I agree with you, but not only that, like, I don't also want to be put to a massive decision there where if I fire and TD wants to get crafty and just like snap shove on like a super random ice spike to set bluff, like I don't want to have to like think for my whole stack when I could have just check called, basically check called or check down and got, my 3K pot with my king. I don't know, and it might open the door for some unnecessary risk there.
So I think the game's playing with a $50 straddle right now.
And Seth with ace king.
Would help explain some of the sizing that we're seeing.
Yeah, because even for a 10-25 game, I mean, these guys are pumping.
That's a big
man.
open. I mean, when Eric made it to 150 to go.
And look at these hands we're getting too. I mean, every time it's just like all paint, all cards above 10, all pocket pairs.
And Seth makes it 400 to go. Eric's gonna call the king queen. And I think there's no way on earth Nat folds now.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You're getting more than 4-1 on your money right now. Nat's got a snapper hand. Ooh. Jack, queen, 5.
Eric flops the best of it.
And it gives a gutter ball for Nat, too. Unfortunately, that would complete Seth's draw to Broadway, so...
$1,300 in the pot. Checks to Eric. T-Life Daily Vlogs.
T-Life, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the chat. So pot's at 1,300. And what did Eric bet over there?
He bet 660. Takes it down.
I knew you were going to say that. Best of luck, I can't draw 10-9.
Solid game. There is no shortage of action at this game. You know, I was just like...
No, it's been real. I mean, a lot of money thrown around. I haven't seen, was it Allen in seat 7? I haven't seen him play a single hand. That said, I don't think he's had an opportunity to, and every pot's getting 3-bet and 4-bet.
No way, no way.
Yeah.
And like I said, and all with like decently solid hands too. So it's like if you're not getting any hands to play with at this table, like you're sitting out waiting right now.
I don't think it'd be optimal, but I think it'd be really fun to sit down with this game, and just bring like 10 1K barrels.
Yeah,
and
just yeah,
and look and just like push like 3-bet jamming on us.
Well, and the thing is, dude, 3-bet jamming, because I mean, you have the opportunity probably to triple up almost every time. When like throwing in a dime, the deeper this game gets, it's like people are like, okay, I'll call the grand.
There's a lot of players online.
And you were just talking about Allen, and welcome to the pot, Allen. All right, 2-3-10 here, Rainbow. Technically here with the best of it still, TD with ace high. And he's going to fire out 210, just slightly under the pot size bet. And Harlan here with a little gutter ball. I think Harlan's thinking, hey, okay, obviously if I have my gutter, it's good, but if I hit a 4 or 6, is that good too? Does nobody really have a 10 in this pot? Like,
right.
Are those live cards to hit?
He might be thinking about raising here. No, he's gonna let it go.
And over to Allen, who is gonna check out as well. TD firing with ace high. Joke's on him, still the best hand.
Yeah, I think when you're firing ace high on that board, you're trying to get better hands to fold. You're trying to get, pocket 5s, pocket 6s, hands like that to go away. You're not really extracting value. No one's calling you with the worst hand. The 4 or 5 might call actually, but that's about it.
Yeah. And then when your pocket 6s, when you hit a set, you're feeling all nice and fresh. Nope. No good.
AD picking up the ace-jack suited under the gun +1. And there's a $50 straddle going on around right now. AD makes it 150 to go. 10, 25, 50.
Matt, Seth, Allen, gone. Brian, gone. All right, over to Jason. Otherwise referred to as Anthony's old seat. Boom, 3 ace 3 on the flop. And that is going to give AD the absolute monster edge here over Jason. And pot's 335, AD's going to fire, and Jason's just gone. AD was already ahead there pre-flop, and then on the flop just got a super cinching hold.
That's a hand there in that spot where I personally, prefer a check back there. Maybe try to get the board a little bit more coordinated, right?
You mean on the flop instead of just firing out like you did? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe let my opponent catch up a little bit.
Well, and I can agree with you on that, because here's the deal: if he has a 3, he's not going anywhere. And it's like,
how many worse aces does he have?
Well, yeah, and I feel like if you're ahead on the flop, almost no matter what comes on the turn, you're probably still going to be ahead.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I mean, and if he already has you crushed with a 3 or quads or something ridiculous, then it's almost like a free streak for you. Maybe you lose less money that way. I don't know.
Yeah,
you know, but yeah, I don't know. Gay Corpse, Anthony was over there in seat 9, and the very first hand, like pretty much right before we were starting the stream, so we didn't get to see it. Somebody told me, I think he stacked off, he was against somebody's pocket aces who ended up flopping an ace and then rivering a boat, which, unless you have quads, nice hand. So
yeah,
I think that's what happened with Anthony. I'm not sure the specifics though.
It's hard to be profitable in poker when you're constantly running into boats.
Yeah, yeah, top set, top aces, getting an ace, hitting a boat, no good.
So TD makes it 175 to go over the $50 straddle. Harlan makes a call right behind him, ace-7 of hearts. 80's going to come in as well, 10-5 of hearts, and Brian completed a small blind with ace-10 of diamonds. Ace-10, deuce, all clubs, top 2 for Brian.
Nobody even has a club.
It's a clubless deck.
Wow. Guys, that's why there's all clubs. Found them. Top 2 for Brian. Hates the board, but top 2 for Brian.
Now, Brian can get value out of club draws and or, Broadway.
Now look at this. Harlan turns 2 pair with an ace now. So now I think both of them are like, okay, now this is really going to be the dance of how good is my hand, and I hope you don't have a flush. This is how this dance is going to go.
Yeah.
And
Brian bets 350.
And T-Life Daily Vlogs definitely did call it. He's like, I feel that this case ace is going to flop. Bink. There it is.
Service on 11.
And Harlan's going nowhere.
Yeah, this is... Oh, whew. I don't know what was going to come on the river, but there we go. So now this is obviously going to still keep it alive. Any club came on the river, it could have just been a show of who's going to outbet the other one here. But I think they're both thinking, we're going to see how this hand goes. It's 1.4K in the pot. Option to Brian first. It's very easy to put Harlan on like a pair and a club draw, something like that. So I think Brian's really kind of actually betting for value here as opposed to betting scared.
Brian's got less than a pot size bet behind. I think jamming here.
Yeah, Brian's got what, like maybe 4 whites at 200 reds. He's about 600 behind-ish. Plus a green. I don't know. I think he's got right around half pot.
He says he's got about around 1,100 behind. There's 1,400 in the pot.
Oh, really?
500. Oh. 7.
We heard 500, I think, and then we heard an insta call.
Brian said all in.
Nope. Oh, did he?
Brian said all in, and Harlan snap called.
Gotcha. I thought I just heard 500, and then I heard it called.
I think it's a good shove by Brian. So, I mean, yeah, obviously, any small flush that would have be flatted or not been the flop is going to snap you off and you lose. You lose the sets. But there's I think so many more hands that Harlan can have there. One pair with a single club that's going to check back.
Yeah.
That but there are also hands that, from Harlan's perspective, that Brian might have, and jamming might is a little bit more bluffy. So
honestly,
I like the way
I wish we
the
could
hand.
totally just do a rewind replay and see how that whole hand plays if a club hits the river. When neither of them have it, you know what I mean? Like who's
check.
Yeah, I guess. I guess. I don't know. I feel like one can definitely blow the other one off there.
And Brian, who it seemed like 15-20 minutes ago was down to $440 after losing,
I know.
losing his kings and shoves the very next hand.
What a beast, Brian!
Is now back up over 3K.
Building mountains. He's in construction. He's building mountains. A couple of tie hands here, like Jason and AD, both with 9-10 suited.
And the $50 straddle is still live. Seth min raises to 100, it shows? Yeah, everyone comes along.
Boom.
King 7-3 rainbow.
Gives a gutter ball for Harlan, man, right there. But other than that, actually that's going to give Harlan actually the edge right here. 2 live cards and a gutter ball. And he's going to get one of those cards. So Harlan here in the lead with a pair of 5s.
Seth also has the same inside straight draw. 4, of course, would be disaster for him. Eric bets 350 with his ace high. I think you're Harlan. I think you got a call here. He's got some players behind him, but there's no reason for him to believe that anyone's got any real strong hand.
Oh, and we're going up. We're going uptown, baby. Raise. I think we're going to go, min raise these over to 700? Is that what we're doing? Harlan, you beast. 750, just to sprinkle over the min-raises here. And Eric's gonna get out of the way. And there you go, that's how you take down that pot.
Nice. Nice hand,
Not
Harlan.
only did he not even have to worry about calling because he had the best, if he said, you know what, I'm just gonna take it right here.
You know, the more I think about that, actually, I really like that by Harlan. It uncaps his range, so to speak. I mean, he can already have the straight, he can have a set there. I think after checks through on the flop, and then if he were just flat Eric's bet there, it really kind of caps the hands that he can have. But by raising, it actually completely uncaps his range. Now, now he can have from the straight to sets.
And he could have been slow rolling everybody super hard on the flop there. And I think the min raising itself is a little bit scared. But on top of that, you also get him basically thinking, okay, clearly Harlan just slow rolling everybody. He outflopped everybody.
Yeah, the flop to the set of sevens.
Whatever, yeah. Or he already had a king and maybe whatever, he was just floating and then caught a 2-pair. Like, there's just a lot of hands there. You can get a lot of weaker hands to just go away. I'm not even thinking about it.
Namely, you said you get a lot of better hands to fold. I mean, Harlan did only have a pair of 5s.
Yeah.
So, if you can get Eric, if you ever can get your opponent to fold a 7 there, or pocket 8s, that's a great result.
Oh, of course.
K Corp's is min raise plus tax.
He's not wrong. That's like right on the money. Tax right here, like 8-9%. There you go.
Yeah,
it's right on the money. 750.
It was 4th of July weekend, and I was up at my folks' place and letting the kids run around and do stuff. And I don't know why I'm getting off subject about taxes, but I was talking to my mother about taxes and this stuff. And I think I come over and said, I don't think she's ever done like her taxes like ever. I'm not trying to get her in kind of trouble or anything, but like, and I was talking to her about stuff, and she's like, yeah, I think I pay like 7%. And I'm like,
not what you pay at the grocery store, Ma.
Yeah, no, that's not what your income tax. You go, really? Well, do you really have no idea what income tax bracket you're in? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like it's office space. Well, how are you going to pay your bills? I never really like paying bills either.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to pay them anymore.
Just going to do them.
Are you going to quit? No, I'm just going to stop going. We're going to go. All right, back to the action here. Eric with queens. C2. Little popper. 185. And we got one contender here. And Harlan might try and keep him honest here. Harlan's stacking a couple hundreds, and
he shows him the king.
Look, Eric's so smiling. He's like, whoa, how do you fold that? Let's see, is Eric gonna show? Nope. He said, check it on the stream later, bro. Check it on the stream later. Catch it in 25 minutes.
Harlan laying down the king 10. Plastica, welcome to the chat.
Welcome. He's talking about this plastic bag tax. We just started our bag tax here.
Yeah, right?
Walk into the store, no plastic bags, and you got to pay for paper.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey, I guess everybody else has been doing it for long enough, so.
Have they really?
Oh yeah. Well, like a lot of places I know, like in the Bay Area, like Monterey, places like that. Trend-setting places.
I don't got a problem with that. I really don't. I mean,
yeah.
Whatever,
but it helps the environment. At the end of the
day, it doesn't say what it is. It's environmental, right?
Well, yeah, it's environmental, but at the end of the day, I mean, come on, bags are so cheap. It's like, I think they're, 5 cents or 8 cents a piece. Like, at the end of the day, if it costs me an extra 82 cents on my groceries, like, so be it. You know, I mean, whatever.
Brian makes it 175 to go. King, Jack, and diamonds. We are playing with a $50 straddle, so it's 10, 25, 50.
Just amazed at these hands we're getting.
80 flats, 9s. The deck's helping us out.
Yeah.
It's good. We're getting some
action
a little
decks,
love in the deck.
action dealers, action table. Man, when the stars align here. Just great sized pots.
Here comes
going
Nat.
to the flop. 7 1/4 pot. Deuce, Jack, King on the flop.
Top two for Brian.
Brian, man, he is making monster comeback leaps and bounds here.
And Brian's got to figure one of these guys has to have some sort of pair and or straight draws, something, or backdoor straight draw pair. Someone's going to call me, right? 355. 80 with the 9s. Let's it go.
Gone.
And Nat,
That's gonna look him up. That's gonna keep him honest here. If a queen hits the turn, we're gonna see some sparks. 6. No help. Does put a possible diamond draw out there. Look at this hand for Brian. It just keeps getting better. Now he's got top 2 with monster flush draw. Good lord.
Brian's had figured that Nat's gonna have a lot of kings here. You could have some jacks.
Yeah, at least play for some. Play for a little.
I think small sizing here is key.
Oh, I would have to go small sizing. I mean, your hand is so beast.
I like it. 535.
Your hand's so beast. Yeah, oh, that's great. That's great. It's like a third of the pot. I think his sizing here is just money. I mean, it's almost just enough to get Nat in there, which I think is what we might see here. It sure is. All right, this pot is getting juicy. 2,500 going to the river.
Oh,
Wow.
Now the one.
Are you kidding me? Oh man.
Nat
All right.
makes a worst 2 pair and Brian makes his flush.
And because the diamonds came super backdoor running diamonds, it's not like Nat can easily put Brian on any sort of flush.
2,500 in the pot.
Oh man.
Now Brian's only got 1,200 back. I wouldn't be surprised to see Nat just stick him.
Yeah, that's rough. And obviously, I mean, you know Brian's not sitting there firing with 9-10 or ace-10. You know what I mean? He's not firing 9-10 or ace-10, period. He's not firing on the gut shot. So you have to think that you're just so beast here. Unless you're against king-queen.
That's the thing. And Nat's, I mean, if he fires here, the only hand I get though that can call you that you beat is ace-king.
Yeah.
You lose to king-jack, you lose to king-queen. Obviously lose to backdoor diamonds.
So nasty here. Gosh, and Brian is just smiling all
Brian's
over
got
the
more than
bank
1,200
here.
back. Brian's got like 17 and change. I think you're Brian, and if you Brian, this is where you shove.
You just jam. So it was 2.5K right now. I think it's bet 680 something. It's gonna be 3,200 in the pot. This is gonna get juicy.
Eldar, welcome to the chat.
Welcome, bud. Oh man.
Brian ships it.
I'm leaning in to hear the call. I'm leaning in.
Game's
Oh,
good. Game
man.
is really good, Eldar.
Man, you're Nat. You're thinking. Look, I know, man. I feel like everything his expression right now is everything you're feeling. You're like, dude, am I really in this spot?
That's, I mean, the tough part, like spot there for Nat is the only hands that, I mean, the only hand that's going to call you is that you can beat is ace king.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think on that. I mean, king 10 isn't calling you there.
Gosh,
You know?
that's brutal. I mean, he's thinking, he's like, dude, did you have like a set or something the whole time? I know you don't have ace 10. I know you don't have 9-10. You have king queen. You have the same hand as me. You have jack queen. There's no way you have diamonds. You don't have a straight. I mean, he's sitting there almost like talking himself. Oh, see, set of kings. Listen to him. The sick part is, it's like another 1,200, but the pot's already at 4,500. And Brian's not giving up any info right now. He wants to get paid so bad.
Here's the thing about it. If I'm not, I think I would have leaned more toward a check call. But the problem is with Brian's effective stack, there was 14 in the pot. He had 1,700 behind.
Well, here's the deal. I think if Nat thought he was good before, why wouldn't he be good now? His hand improved. I mean, as sort of hitting another jack, he's hit exactly what he wanted.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
And
it's like
if you, I guess yeah, if you called queen jack on the turn.
it's like if your hand improves and you already thought
But
you
I
were
mean,
good.
it's
now
just-
it's a rough spot.
Now he's got more information though about the hand. Now that Brian jammed river.
Yeah, it's a rough spot, man.
I think Nat can get away here. I think right now he's just a little bit kind of in disbelief. Like,
Gay Corpse is on the money. It's such a good price, right? I mean, it's 545 to call. It's a little bit more than that. It's actually about 1,000 a call, but still 1,000 into 4,400.
And I think, I mean,
yeah,
that's exactly what's going on here. And that's just like I'm being laid just like such a killer price.
yeah. I think if Brian had like another grand behind, I don't think Nat calls. But it's rough, man. That's the beats right there. And Brian on the comeback, just trail of destiny right now.
Yeah, right. Went from $440 to over 5K in what, 30 minutes?
Must be nice. Wow. Yeah, that was just a tough spot there for Nat, man. I mean, you're getting exactly what you want, and it's just not working out for you. You know?
Yeah. Such. You're being laid an incredible price because at that price, I mean, your opponent's jamming there. You know that, or you got to think that he knows that you're laying him an incredible, that you're being laid an incredible price.
They're talking about you hear that. They're like triple up, then double up, then double up again.
Triple up, double up, double up. Ace is Ron in the chat box. Welcome to the game. Yeah, no, it's just like I said. I mean. Like K-Corp says, like he's got 0 bluffs there, but you're being laid in a hell of a price.
No, it's so nasty.
Such a sick spot.
Scotty Wynn said, "That's poker, baby." That's rough right there. So nobody can say this game hasn't been action-packed. That's for sure.
It's been really, really real.
For real, for real.
Seth makes it 75 to go. Jack 10 of spades under the gun.
Everybody's gonna call.
Harlan, Nat, TD, everyone's in.
Look at that, 8-9-4, 2 clubs, open-ended here for Seth with a couple of overs, who's currently in the lead. But top pair for Harlan, with top kicker.
Top, backdoor diamonds. TD made a pair in backdoor clubs.
And Seth, hand super disguised here. So he's gonna fire out 175. And TD's going to call, and Harlan's going to call. I don't know if TD necessarily likes the Harlan call there, but this is definitely just going to keep them all interested. Oh wow, now if a 7 comes and Seth gets there, that also gives TD a straight as well. Wow, all right, this could get fun. So checks around. King, no help to anybody. It's going to give Harlan the check mark here.
Harlan's good. So Young Lack Pro says the whole point of leading river there is to fold to a shove because you never had a shoving range. Yeah, it's a tough spot. Like the way I play the hand, I'm probably check calling. You can lead, but if you're gonna lead there, I agree. You have to be disciplined and fold to river jams.
Double Aces Ron, what's going on? Welcome to the chat. Bold Gamer, how's it going? And Harlan's gonna fire this. Oh, he's gonna call it. He's gonna call Seth's bet.
Harlan was not buying it.
No. Oh, he was buying it. Cost him a couple bucks, and he bought it.
He bought it.
He paid for it. He certainly did buy it.
Now he owns it.
certainly did buy that.
He bought it. It's good.
He bought that.
I'm gonna ask Brian how he did that. It's a triple up, double up, double up.
Yeah.
God, it
must be nice. I like how somebody on here is just like, yeah, what is this? There you go, Bold Gamer. Is this an online game? What's up with all this action? Every hand, man. Every hand. And a lot of these, and you notice, a lot of pocket pairs, a lot of face cards, and a lot of tie hands too. A lot of same, like 2 people get an 8-9 suited, 2 people get a 9-10 suited. I mean, lots of just right in everybody's zone right here.
Ace is Ron. What's up?
Tips on 11.
At least once.
Jason makes it 80 to go. Can't see his holdings. Nat calls 7-4 off.
Oh, I think somebody mucked a 10-5 in there somewhere.
Eric, who's actually in the spot as well.
All right, guys.
Sorry, lost him.
Please, we have $9 to declare.
Backing up the action here.
Every half hour.
And he's going to take it. I think they're talking about the timed rake. I was like, wait, didn't you just... Wait a second. Jen there in the dealer box. She runs a tight ship, man. No getting around her. She will collect.
All right, Eldar. Now you got Aces Ron poking you with a stick, saying you got to come up here, you got to come to Stones, get in these games. You keep saying you're gonna do it. Let's see it.
Do it. Get in a match with like Eldar and Gay Corpse and just all the whole crew. Get everybody in there. Can we go like 14-handed? Can we get like a 14-handed poker table? Just go real funky.
Yeah.
So guys, if you haven't done it yet, there is a fun thing coming up here on the ballot that we want to definitely protect the place that we know and love here, Stones. So it's called Protect California Card Rooms. Get on there. It's protectjobs.calgaming.org. Log in, put in your info, hit send. Super quick and easy. Just keeps everything running smooth here. People from blocking all of our fun.
Eldar, book it. I'm there.
Book.
Bold Gamer at 1085. Do we stream lower limits? Yeah, we stream everything. We 5.5, 5.10. We stream 1.3 a couple times a month.
Yeah.
PLO. We do it all. Ghost events says these are lower limits. 10.25 with a 50 straddle.
Yeah, super
Lower
low limit.
limits.
Super low limit. Just pennies. You can lose tens of pennies.
Ace 8 Queen. A couple of spades out there.
Aces Ron, they don't really have a calendar, but you can just always reach out to Justin Corretis here at Stones, or any of the Stone staff here, and they can point you in the right direction to getting you a seat and letting you know what games are coming up.
You can tweet Stones live on Twitter.
Yeah, any of the social media platforms, you can't miss it. Trust me, you will get your question answered. All right, 5 of diamonds here on the turn. Seth still with the best here with a pair of aces. Nat on the gut shot to Broadway. And he's checking out.
I think Nat was looking for a chance there to try to steal the pot. Cloney asked whether Rakers is intended for you. I believe they're paying time.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what it is. A couple bucks a player every 30 minutes or something. Something like that. Yeah, it's about what you pay for bags at the grocery store these days, so don't worry about it.
I actually, I prefer the paper bag thing. Anyhow, I mean, the plastic bags are just kind of annoying. I can use paper bags.
Yeah.
I can use them. Do you
have them like me? Do you cram them in that like slot between your fridge and the wall? That's what I've done.
Yeah.
Do you really? Because is that like a thing?
It is a thing.
Every house I've been to when I need a paper bag, I'm like, oh, there's probably some crammed in between the fridge and the wall. Is that just me? Chat room, chime in. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes.
No, but I can use paper bags.
Yeah. Stuff.
Start
activities like do karate in the garage.
Yeah, my kids make little puppets and crap. Plastic bags are annoying.
All right, over to Brian, trying to continue his massive heater here. All right, 4 players going to this flop. 4 king 10, and that's going to give Nat top pair here. Now, Nat's actually going to turn with his top pair open-ended, but it's also going to complete the straight for Brian, who already have a little funky history in this zone, so let's see how this goes. 330 in the pot.
Here we go.
Nat's going to fire 250. And we're just waiting for Jake to go, whee! The only thing sicker would be like a 6 on the river here.
Yeah, Eric checked out a long time ago.
He's running away from the table.
You guys have fun.
All right, so he needs an ace or a 9 to catch up, and he's not going to get there. So Brian in the big blind checks over to him, and Nat instantly fires a stack here. So Brian with the second nut. The relook.
Now, can Brian check raise here?
I think that's what. Okay. Well, I mean, unless he's really afraid of the nut, but you got to remember that nobody fired the flop, so it's very possible that Ace Jack just checked and got there. You know what I mean? Now, it's really and Brian is not buying it. He's saying there's no way. If you got Ace Jack, you're going to show me. So I think he's going to make it what 1100, something like that.
Oh, you have me beat. I knew you was wrong.
Let's see what that bet is. I think it's right around 11. Gosh, and you know, and Nat and Brian already have this kind of history here with these last couple hands. Yeah, 1200, race to 1200, so it's 750 more from Nat to call. It's getting just over 3 to 1 to his money here. He's wondering, man, is my king really good here?
Check call, check raise. What's it look like to you, Nat? And Nat, I think Nat can't believe it. Well, how am I running this bad right now?
Yeah, and Brian's gonna show. Like Brian, yeah. Rough, man. 2 tough breaks here for Nat against the same player. That's rough. And Brian continue his steam engine locomotive of chip gathering. Good Lord. Wow. And you know what it is? And I think Nat, like Nat right there is like you said, he's just thinking, man, am I really running this bad? Am I really running into Brian like over and over with just like the next best thing? You know?
Yeah.
We were acting racked up.
I mean, the one bluff that Brian might have is like pocket jacks because you block all the nuts there. But because Nat has a jack, it's harder for Brian to have pocket jacks there. And I mean, if he is gonna bluff pocket jacks, is he taking the check raise line? I mean, he wouldn't maybe risk less by leading, even though the check raise is stronger. I mean, with that sizing, I mean, how many bluffs does he really have? I don't know. I'm sorry, Spunky Monkey, get back here. Ask what does the waiting list for this game look like? I don't know right now. Hit up Justin Caritas, Stones Live on Twitter.
I would say there might be 1 or 2 people in the queue, but if you were interested in getting a seat, I don't think you'd have to wait all that long. Ant Doom, welcome to the chat room. We were talking about you a little bit. We know that you were involved in a big pot right before the stream started, but wasn't really sure what happened. So if you want to shed some light to some of the other viewers, I think a couple of your fans were like, where'd Anthony go? He had to go call his mother.
Poker players love bad big stories.
Oh, they love them. All right, open-ended here on the flop for Jason. A little draw to the wheel here.
Top with ace-9 again for Harlan.
That's ace-9 is working out well for Harlan so far tonight. Top every time for him.
And Harlan has 275. Eric, ace queen.
I love it. I love that. Let me stack
raise.
chips and then just other hand mock gone. Boom. Oh, and
Disco.
That's disco time for Jason here. That's going to catch him up. So he's going to have a straight that's going to leave Harlan drawing dead.
Checks through.
A scary river, though, that puts a little 4-card straight out there on the other end here. Actually, on both ends. So that is not the card Jason was looking for, but it's not going to stop him. It's going to bet 300 into Harlan.
300.
Oh, there you go. There's Ant Doom. He had ace king, and Nat flopped top set with ace ace.
Flop with ace ace.
Game over. The only time I've seen something like that was I saw like ace king versus pocket aces, and it came like ace king. Like that's the only thing that makes it even worse. You're like, ah, yeah.
Good fold. Overhead for both hands.
Harlan folds.
Alright guys, next audio is coming in. Thank you. Any service for anyone?
30 minutes.
OMF Balls hasn't even had success logging into the Stones iOS app. Have they launched the app?
I was actually just checking right now, actually. So I was looking on my phone.
I didn't know if it was live yet.
Could have bet on this turn. Price to call. Can open it.
Hey, Stone's Gambling Hall mobile application. I think I'll get this. Thank you very much.
Say what?
Don't hog all my bandwidth on the Wi-Fi, bro.
Take off. No, not that.
Cool. Well, let's see how this whole thing works, and we'll be with you in a minute. All right. Over to AD here with Ace Queen. Got a raise there to looks like $1.25 by TD.
You're missing is TD fucking drinking.
Stones.
What?
Is it called Stones Live?
I just put in Stones Poker and it popped right up.
Stones Gambling App.
Stones Gambling Home mobile app.
I already drunk it. Try to hit
There it is.
Yes, I would like notifications. Thank you. They're like, hey, they're running a juicy 10-25 game. Look at these pot breakdowns. And I'm like, I'll be right over. Oh, look at this. Here it is, guys, in the flesh. You can take a look.
Stones app.
Check that out. You can take a look at the seat, the list that's running, put your name on the board, all of the above, dining, probably order out. You can do all sorts of stuff on this thing. Sorry, guys, I'm busy.
We're just gonna be like in the booth the rest of the time, just kind of jamming our thumbs.
All right, so TD here, the original pre-flop raiser, is gonna flop top here, way in the lead.
Checks over to 80. I'm sorry, not 80. TD. That's 275. 80. I'm gonna screw that up all night. 80's got backdoor nut diamonds. He needs to make the call.
So I'm having some issues logging in as well, guys, for those of you who are trying it out with my member number. I don't know if you need all the zeros in front of it, but I'm sure if it's not working, it's just a bug, it'll get fixed here pretty quick. It normally takes a couple days to push an update through Apple's App Store, so.
$1,100 in the pot, and TD bits 425. 80 did not find some backdoor diamonds, and he's out of there. Yeah, I gotta check out the app. Sweet.
All right, I'm gonna try one last time to log in, and then I'm gonna declare it dead.
Oh, OMF Ball says that you can see the list. So there's 5.
Yeah, you can see the list, but if you want to put your name on it, it makes you sign in with your member number. But we don't have that yet, so yeah. But I'm sure it's coming soon. Rad, but you can see the list, and we'll see if JFK wants to go over and verify that that list is correct. But I think it is.
Where have I been? How do I not know that this is a thing yet?
I know, right?
Been goofing off.
So I think if it says tables 1 waiting for, oh no, you know what? This can't be right because we're the 3-6 crazy pineapple, and I don't think this is right yet in the wait list. I think that's just a sample.
Gotcha. So Seth made a 75 to go, 9-10 of hearts. Eric called ace-3 and flops top and bottom pair. Seth, he's gonna continue, bets 115 with backdoor hearts and backdoor straight draws. There's the backdoor heart, and there is life in Seth. $275 from Seth. Eric just flat at the ace-3. At some point, we start building a bigger pot. Not yet, evidently. Oh, there it is, the raise. There we go.
Well, I can verify that the dining menus are on there. I didn't even know they had a thing called a power lunch here, but it's like you get to pick 2 items and go to town. Sounds delicious. I'm hungry.
Small little raise from Eric makes it 625 to go, and Seth's gonna call.
Oh, wow, I thought that was the heart. It is not. Eric's still with the best here. Looks like he's going to fire out, what, 600, 700, something like that? And Seth pretty much missed everything here. Fabio there in the dealer box. So TD currently here is the big stack on the table, 7.6K. And Brian, runner up here, second in chips, it's 6,500 up from, what was his shove, 400? 440 was his all-in shove. That just goes to show you that dreams can happen. Miracles can happen, dreams come true, guys.
So there, Justin says that the app is still in beta right now. Looks good so far.
Yeah. And TD, there from the big blind, waking up with another hand, pocket tens. So
I feel bad for Alan here because, like I said, all these big hands and money being splashed around the table, and Alan's been sitting there like, what's going to do?
Yeah, he's like, hey guys, I'm
the
here.
deck really hasn't cooperated with him. As it is, he does pick up the 7-8 of clubs here and makes it 75 to go. And these guys might not know that Alan's just been card dead. They might think he's been playing tight, but he likes it really has just been card dead. Now that he's finally raising, they probably think he has aces. Eric's gonna make the call, ace queen. TD's gonna 3-bet. And interesting by TD, I mean, TD's staying very consistent with how he's playing. Very, very aggressive. I mean, it's his game. But like I said, when I see a player who has not been playing any hands, I don't know it's just because he's card dead. For all I know, he might be just, a super. And so, generally when those players open up a pot after they haven't been playing any hands, I'm usually flatting more with tens than raising. But that just goes against TD's style. His game is aggression, aggression, aggression on all streets.
Oh, wow, look at this card. Okay, I was going to say, so Eric already flopped here a draw to Broadway, and now clubs get there. Allen's flush draw actually gets there on the turn, but this also gives Eric the redraw to not only the nut flush, but the royal flush if the 10 of clubs were to come, which would also give TD a set. Oh, good lord. Oh, wow. Let's see how this goes. All right, so check over to Allen here, who again, like you said, has been playing very tight, has not been able to see many boards, who finally is going to fire 500 here. And now this is, Eric's going to think about this for a sec, but he's also got TD behind him. I don't think he's worried about TD, especially since TD checked the turn. And TD's gone. So now going to the river, if a club comes, this is going to get bingo bango, and it sure does. That's going to give Eric the stone cold nutskis, not the card Allen wanted to see. I think Allen has to assume that if he wasn't beat already, that Eric most likely had a pair with a club in his hand that's obviously going to be higher than an 8. So the pot's sitting at 1,800. Eric's going to fire out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Quick call from Allen.
Well, you know what it was? I think part of that quick call from Allen was two things. A, Eric is very capable of making a bluff there, right? I mean, Eric could have just called to bluff if a club hits, right? And B, like you said, Allen hasn't been able to play a lot of hands, and I think Allen might have just said, you know what? I'm not getting out of this pot. I haven't been playing many hands. I got my flush, and you're going to prove to me that you have me beat. Like, so I think there's a couple of different factors there. But I think Eric is very capable of flatting there with air and then just firing if a club comes.
Or are you getting me to have a hand like I suppose like king or like jack 10, king jack, or ace 10 with no club, and like I said, my ace might be good here, but I also might be able to bluff a club.
Yeah. Yeah, almost like a semi-bluff. Like, okay, just in case it's not good, I also have bluffing potential if something like that falls. I mean, that's a very popular move, especially in some of these higher limit games, when there's 4 to a flush on the board. Whether or not the player has it, I mean, players love to rep a 4-card flush. Period. You know
I know
what I mean?
I do.
Right? I mean, you do. It's just, I feel like it's candy out there for the taking because you really put the other players to the test on if they can make that big call.
Oh, and I love it. Nat has put in the $50 straddle and is going to wake up here with aces.
Gonna love it.
Seth limps along for 50 with the 5s. Quarter more.
Oh man, and Harlan with 3-4. Oh my god, what if it comes ace?
Oh, and Nat checks it.
What if it comes ace deuce 5? I won't be able to deal with myself. Oh my god, I almost did! I'm so scared. Oh, if a 5 peels, it'd just be so disgusting. Oh my. I can't take this. I can't take this anymore.
Freaking out.
I know. I'm freaking out, man. Stop putting all these cards so close to everybody's zone. All right, so we got Harlan with a pair and a wheel draw. We got Nat with top set of aces, which apparently he already did to Anthony before we even started the stream. And we got Seth with pocket 5s with a gut shot draw to the wheel.
Harlan bet 75. Nat makes it 300 to go. Seth can't continue. But Harlan. Oh, Harlan's out of there. Shows an ace.
That's played a Jackson.
You see it on the screen, that wasn't talking.
Nat. You know, Nat ran into a couple spots there, and waking up with aces there, you know, he wanted to get paid.
Is that a setup?
Yeah, that was a snap.
He was willing, you know, I'm gonna check it, and I'm gonna let someone, you know, catch a little piece and try to extract a little value.
It's funny, I know that, you know, a lot of times we're trying to mark down, you know, key hands for, you know, like Bart Hansen and some of the others to go over sometimes, but I almost forgot because I feel like there's like almost every hand's been like a key hand.
Yeah,
you know
there's been
what
some
I
big
mean?
pots.
I'm just like, okay, let's bring up that one with the King Jack and the Jack Queen with Nat and Brian. I mean, there's so many of these big pots already.
The Jack 9 was another one.
The Jack, yeah.
Check raise.
Yeah, and that's, and honestly, it might actually be cool to put those right by each other, actually.
Last time you gave me one.
They're gonna chop it up, and Harlan's gonna let them know that I'm playing nice.
Nat's thinking like, dude, I would so outflop you right now. Bring it.
So here's the thing where you talk about, you know, players and hands and are in the way a lot of live poker players are dynamic in the blinds when it's supposed to blinds. People just chop. Okay, let's get on to the next hand, you know, because you fade the rake. In a time game, it doesn't matter.
There is no technical. It doesn't matter.
So.
Yes and no.
I mean, yes, and no. If I just want to, like, hey, just get on to the next hand.
I was like, because then you're also killing time from seeing more hands in that same time break. So it kind of, yeah, no.
Looks like Eric's gonna open the pot and make it 80 to go. Jack 9 of diamonds. Harlan calls.
Harlan calls from position there on the button. And it looks like
Nat and Seth.
Yeah, Nat called, which obviously prices in Seth here. So 320 in the pot, ace 10 deuce rainbow, top 2 pair for Nat. What a flop.
Checks through, and the turn hits both Harlan and Eric.
So Eric's fired 250 after Nat checked. And now Nat is figuring out what sort of check raise he wants to do. Looks like close to 700, something like that. 7 on the money? Oh, 675.
Now, here's the thing for Nat, is in a 4-way pot, would Eric not have C-bet with an ace? Because pretty much when you're check raising here on the turn, you're trying to get value from an ace here. Wow, he's gonna get value from a 9.
Oh, and that's just gonna give Nat the stone cold second nutskis here. Only being beat by his own favorite hand, which is pocket aces. So this is definitely just gonna be, so the pot's at 1.7K here. Really, it's all about how you extract value, because you know you have the best hand. I think he obviously underestimates how strong Eric is. He's hoping Eric looked him up with a week 10, because then he gets paid all day.
If he's willing to look him up with a week 9, then I guess
no, that's what I mean.
He can definitely have a 10. The
yeah,
problem
he
is,
can totally have a 10. And I mean, and there's no way he has
but
a 10.
The problem is, it's the case 10.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's hard. I think it's harder also to put an ace in Eric's hand because he checked the flop.
And heaven forbid, if Eric had a monster hand on the flop, like he had pocket deuces or something, then, I mean, you're getting all of his money.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, Eric's going to double you up, I guess, if that would have been the case. But we'll see here. So Eric is basically just, he's got his bluff meter on. He's just like, dude, are you completely full of it or do you have it? That's really all Eric's debating here. Because I think Eric knows he can kind of only beat a bluff here. Yeah, he loves it, dude. I love it. And then he looks at you and smiles. He's like, I know you just kind of winced just for a minute when I moved that stack of white, but little does he know that Nat was not wincing. Nat was getting excited when he was moving that stack of white. He was not wincing. He's like, Nat's like, please do it, please do it, please put it in there.
The only thing there, like I said, if I'm Nat, I might consider. The hard part is after you check raise the turn, and he calls. I mean, there's a lot of logic there to think, okay, that he's got to have an ace there. But I mean, so the contrary win that he played the hand is that he did bet the flop. And a lot of players will, bet for protection, or on an 8-10 deuce board, bet to get value out of Broadway combinations and one pair backdoor Broadway combos. So Eric not betting the flop kind of okay. He's less likely to have an ace, but then once he calls a check raise on the turn, he kind of has to though, right?
Yeah. No, it's funny. I mean, that's the river. You basically had each player thinking about, okay, so how do I extract? You had Nat thinking, how do I extract maximum value? And you have Eric thinking, all I can really beat's a bluff. Do you have anything? Like, do you have an ace? Do you have a 10? Are you going to the ball? That's what it says.
AD makes it 150 to go, and Brian, who straddled 10-6, is going to defend the straddle and catch a little piece.
That's a small piece. Now, the thing is, it's one of those funky hands where if he does see a turn, if some sort of jack or 10 or any sort of like straight draw or two pair comes on the turn, this could escalate. I don't know if he's going to be able to see it here. 335 in the pot, and we got a bet of 250 here by AD. Two and a quarter.
Seeing different things and hearing different things.
Yeah, I think I heard 275, but either way, I think 225 would have done the same trick here. Brian's out of there.
AD dragging some chips.
AD dragon chips. Brian's like, fine, okay, I'll only win like 80% of the hands after my initial beat. Just relax, okay? Everybody be cool. You know what? I'm gonna go steal us a couple waters.
Nice.
Doing it.
So this Monday, guys, 08, 8-handed, 8-16. Nice. 4-card poker. Harlan's picked up pocket fives here on the hijack. He makes it 80 to go. Nat gonna flat ace queen. Seth calls as well. And Brian's now back to playing Brian hands. 10-6 off, 8-4 off. Ace-10 deuce. Nat hits his ace. Just gonna let someone else try to catch up a little bit. 3 on the turn gives the inside straight draw both to Harlan and Brian. Harlan's blocking all Brian's 5s that he needs. And now Nat's gonna try to get some value. That's 205 and Harlan calls. Deuce. 740 in the pot. And Nat's gonna bet, he's gonna bet small. He knows the Harlan can't have much here. And he's gonna get called. Wow, Nat extracts the most. Ace Queen. Nat.
Yeah, I paid.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Paid good money. Paid good money for that Stone's water.
It's made with all the tears from all the bad beats.
Oh man, that is why you drink it and you become a better poker player. I thought it was made fresh from the stream of Sitter's Heights. Bottled to the source, where all the tears flow. There's Brittany there making an appearance. If you've only been here to Stones once, maybe a year and a half ago, she would still know exactly what you ordered and help you out. She'd be like, oh yeah, I know what you want. You want like the...
you want your drink, you want your thing that I made the one
Yeah,
time
you know,
thing?
the one
Yeah.
thing, you remember that one drink?
That one drink. I've been here once. Yeah, you want it again?
You want the duck tacos, but with like a side of this and substitute this and know this, right? And you're like, how did you know that? That
She's the best in the biz.
Look at these towers, guys. So chips. For those of you guys who are just tuning in or don't watch us regularly, the white chips you see there, the mountains in front of Eric, white chips are hundreds, greens are quarters, reds are fives, and the blue chips are $1 tips. Chips, tips, pretty much the same thing. Same thing. They don't really even play in an all-in scenario. You're not worried about people calling those dollar chips. You want them to call those stacks of white. Look at this, a little family pot. Pot's at 150. Boom, king, duck, 4. Not a lot of nothing for anybody really here. Technically, I guess Brian with the best with a deuce. Oh, 3 on the turn. Gives Harlan the best here. Harlan the best.
He bets it, I love it.
You know what? Harlan knows, man. He's got this detector. He's like, you know what? I'm totally good here. I'm firing. Well, so super limped pot. He bet 75 into 150 here.
Alan calls with his open-ended draw. 80 calls with his cutter to the wheel. 9 comes off, and Harlan's got the check mark with a pair of 3s.
Nina. Boom. Harlan with a monster hold on his hand with a 3. And Alan loves his straight draw too that he had because it's, I call that the end one, right? Because if you hit that 6, you know that you're getting paid by any 5 all day.
And Alan says, if no one else wants a spot, God, I'll take it.
Yeah.
He bets 200.
And I mean, everybody's so weak here that, I mean, this is, you know, it's on Harlan to really make a hero call. Otherwise, this pot's in the bag for Alan, and it is. And I think this is one thing where Alan's image could have played to him already, right? Like you said, hasn't been involved in a lot of hands.
Yeah.
You're thinking, there's no way Alan's doing this with a missed 7 high straight draw. I mean, nobody's ever going to put him on that. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, well.
Well, I think the other factor might not put in there, and then Harlan folding there, because he just heroed called Nat with a pair of 5s.
Yeah,
and then players, I mean, stuff kind of sticks with you. You hero calls, and okay, he was wrong at one time, and now it kind of maybe might have been second guessing himself a little bit there.
Yeah.
But then again, like I said, if I'm in that hand, and if I have Harlan's hand there, I'm probably folding too, because Alan just has not been playing enough hands for me to think like, oh yeah, he's just going crazy with 7 high here.
No, yeah, Alan is not the splashy player who loves to bluff. You know what I mean? Like that's not what he's been repping so far at this table. So, and Harlan,
little do we know this probably.
Yeah, he's like, that's exactly what I do. That's why I'm playing the way I'm playing, because nobody else even been playing tight. Harlan waking up with kings here, making 75 to go.
He's just selling his image.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I sell my image, but I sell for too cheap, and then it costs me a lot.
Right now, selling an image a card did.
Dang it. And AD, the only one to look him up here, 50 more to call. And
there we go.
AD's gonna splash. Let's do it. Pot's at 160. Oh, top set for Harlan, man. Woo. And AD is just gonna fire out. This is one of those boards where he's thinking, if you don't have a king or a jack, are you really gonna call me? Little does he know Harlan not only has a king, he has 2 of them.
Yeah, and this move looks great when the opponent has 8s or 9s, and you get him to fold.
And you love to be in this position when you're Harlan, to just be able to flat there with the stone cold nuts when somebody's firing into you, just be able to flat, and your hand is so disguised. Unfortunately for him, AD doesn't really have any sort of even like semi-bluff, redraw, whatever. So the second that AD starts checking and Harlan starts firing, AD's gonna get away from this, and Harlan's really not gonna profit anymore from this.
I think AD took his one stab at it. And
yeah.
I don't think he's gonna try to get any
No, I don't think you're gonna
here.
triple barrel down there at all. And he doesn't, so Harlan's gonna fire out 300 here. Oh, 375? 275.
275.
And he's going to check out of his hand. Rightfully so, because I don't think, I mean, he knew Harlan had him beat, obviously, but I don't think he had any idea Harlan was that strong.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, a raise to 75 pre-flop with kings. We've seen so many raises and re-raises and 3-bet and 4-bet at this table and all sorts of crazy pre-flop action. So 75 with kings pre-flop is almost kind of camouflaged in that. I don't necessarily see Harlan having kings there. I see him having any range of, you know, ace paint, any whatever. I don't necessarily see kings.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he can probably even narrow his hand down, like I said, just to kings, given the pre-flop action. With only one raise,
Yeah.
he can still have a lot of stuff there.
Exactly.
No straddle this hand, and Harlan is going to limp in the 5-3. Nat says limping something you do when you're wounded, and he's going to open up the pot here. 80 to go with king 6 of spades.
Can you read minds? I heard you read his mind. That's exactly what you just said.
Thought it was straddle, I was looking at.
Seth calls with the 5s. And we were 4-way to a flop. Eric's there with the king jack as well.
Boom. Deuce, ace, 6, 2 hearts. It's going to give Harlan a little gutter ball straight draw, man. That's been his zone all night. These baby cards causing little gutter ball straights for him. Technically, Nat here with the best hand outflops Seth's 5s with a pair of 6s. And action over to Harlan. Pots at 485. It's 155 to Harlan to make the call. And Nat also has position on him too, which is something that Harlan has to take into consideration. So he's going to look him up. He's going to flat him once here. Oh, bingo,
Disco.
bango! Woohoo! Whee! All right, super monster disguised beast draw for Harlan. And it's not even a heart, so it's not even like it kills, it completes a flush draw or anything like that. So I think Harlan still has the potential to get a little bit of action out of Nat, but I don't think, I mean, he's wishing Nat had an ace and he doesn't.
Check, check.
Check, check.
Nat's not going for it.
And perfect. That's great for Harlan. That might even get him with just a little bit of action left in that. He might be able to squeeze a little bit out. 250. Oh, 3 1/4. And that's what he's trying to do. I mean, 3 1/4 puts the pot at 965.
About a half pot size.
Trying to squeeze a little bit of the blood. And you know, the interesting part is that the way Harlan played this hand, Nat, if he felt like it, could easily put Harlan on like a missed heart draw and then just firing at it because they both check the turn. Because hearts, right? So he check called the flop. They both check the turn.
Yep.
River comes. It's very easy to say, okay, Harlan had missed heart draw and just make the call here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a lot harder for Nat to call if there wasn't a obvious misdraw on the flop that you can put in Harlan's range.
I mean, come on, you're not thinking the 4 helped anybody, and you're definitely not thinking when the 4 pairs the board again, it's not helping anybody. If anything, yeah, that's all. Oh, you didn't have kicker issues with your 6 anyways, but yeah, you know. Gosh, and Nat's thinking like, really? I run that bad?
Your dollar.
Yeah, you know, Nat's taking some beats tonight, but as you can see there, man, you know, he's smiling, he's a good sport about it, for sure.
Like, I need access to it.
Rolling the hand back to my head. If I'm Nat, I'm probably calling too.
Yeah, I know.
Because it
It looks like a missed flush draw, right?
Oh, well, and it's hard to put a strong ace in Harlan's range because he just limped early.
Yeah, first off, there's no way I'm putting Harlan on a 3-5, and I'm thinking that the 4s didn't help him at all.
The one hand I would maybe worry about is a hand like 4-5. The heart, if he would have had something, had an inside straight draw and then backdoor trip 4s. That's the one hand I'm worried about. But I mean, he could easily. There's more heart combinations than there are 4-5 combinations.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So
I'm thinking 2 random hearts in his hand, and if I replay that hand in my head, I'm thinking it's very easy to put him on a flush draw and then just firing him around. I think I make the call there too.
yeah. Even if he's going for super thin value with a 6, You're chopping a 6. I think it's a fine call. Why not? I mean, like I said, it sucks when you lose a hand, but I think it's fine. Look at Seth. Seth's in like full grinder mode. It's got the hood on.
Oh, I love it, and the hood's so intimidating too. If you see the side of it, it's got like that bomber face with teeth almost, you know, just like getting it. It's almost like all these action hands I'm writing down, Nat is in like everyone. I mean, like, by no fault of his own, it's just like, dang it.
Yeah, I'm probably calling off there if I'm Nat too.
Yeah. All right, Eric coming in from the small here. 3 players going to the flop. Harlan with the same hand he just beat Nat with there, the king 6 that Nat had. And Eric's out there, gone. And you know what Nat's thinking? Nat's like, man, I win with this. Like, all the other stuff goes down in flames, but I bet with 6 high and everybody goes away.
There it is.
Like, dang it. Dang it.
The imbalance that is live poker.
I like earlier we were talking in the chat room how, you know, everybody's like, oh, online's rigged. I was like, well, if you take a look at this table right here, this is basically online with real people, right? This is happening. So it looks like that's just poker, really, is what you meant to say. And Brian is outside, you know, taking a break. He's like, my chips can chill. I got plenty of them back, along with friends and interest and blood money and mafia money and all this other money.
440 to over 6K.
Oh, what a beast.
And now he's almost even.
Yeah.
This Monday, 08. Omaha High Low, 816.
That's your game. I feel like that you're already drooling and salivating for that game. You're just so ready. You're so ready. I think you're gonna be in here with JFK, and I think basically JFK is just gonna sit here and listen to you just be like, all right guys, let me go over all 78 outs right now for all of the players and let you know all about how this is going down.
Watching 08 and split pots, and you know, all people that haven't played it or that don't like, you know, they say they don't like, you know, trying to read, you know, high and low, and you know, so many cards, and you know, trying to like 2 from hand, 3 from board, and try looking at like 9 people's hands during that. And
I know.
Like, if I can commentate that game and keep you know, calling out the wrong, you know, winner to like under 5 times or 10 times, I'll be happy. Like, oh my god, like I'm.
No, I know.
It's commentary.
Well, that's what I'm
right
saying.
now.
Like you said, you get a bunch of these hands in there. You're trying to read a board real quick, and then it's like double that and go to like Super Omaha Crackville.
Yeah.
And just like oh god.
I'm only like wrong like 15% of the time.
I'm like
that's nuts, right?
That's totally Jake's department right there. You can let Jake. I think let the beard do the talking.
5 deuce.
And another 5. And any sort of black flush draw you're looking for. Checks around. 7 on the river. Nothing. Gonna give AD the check mark with ace high here. A little pot of 250. And Nat's gonna fire it out. Or think about it. Oh, he made a little comment here. I didn't hear it first.
I didn't hear what he said.
It might have been a get out of my pot thing. 430.
430.
And AD lays down the best.
Show one.
Oh, okay. I was like, Harlan, what are you doing? Don't do it. I was like, Harlan, no call. What are you doing, Jack High? You stop it. Harlan.
I think it was.
I remember watching, I want to say it was like season one of High Stakes Poker. And Tom Dwan called down Daniel Negreanu with 8 high. And you feel like, you know, he's like, you had to have the, you know, an inside straight draw to a wheelie. And I think Negreanu had like 6s full or something.
Yeah.
He had a boat, but it was kind of like, but it wasn't just, you know, some Hollywood, oh, I might do it. He actually called up and played like 20K riverbed.
And the funny thing is, like, he's one of the players who is good enough to actually do that, whereas you see some like super newbie players do that, and I'm like, no, you were so far, like, you are not qualified to make that move. Like, did you know you had 8 high? Did you think you had something? You thought you had different cards?
I thought there was one more card to come. Yeah, no, I mean, sick hands.
Waiting for this hand all night.
Veronica's talking about doing post-production for Omaha and stuff, like just do it after the fact. If we come in here and record everything at twice speed, then it only takes us half the time.
If I could commentate 08 post-production, that might reduce my calling out the hands wrong, like under like 5%.
But you're still gonna do it.
Like, Jake, it's post-production. How'd you get it wrong? Like, I don't care. It's hard, all right.
All right, so it looks like Nat made a 2 1/4 here, and Eric made the call. Down to the flop, 4-9-7. No help to anybody. Nat still with the best here with ace high.
So verbal is binding. So Angry Pollack says, if you called me down with 8 high and are good, that she'll give you 20K from JFK Stone's TD's paycheck.
Now, I hope that's
Verbal's
not.
binding.
I hope that's not over 1 check, because I don't know what the guy makes. I don't want to put his business out there, but if he makes 20K a paycheck, good for him.
Yeah, they pay him once a year.
Yeah, once a year. We're on a bi-yearly payment schedule. It's pretty exciting. No, 20 grand worth of JFK's love is not allowed.
So that's a lot of love.
No, that's too much love.
Too much love?
I know it's National Kissing Day today and everything, but relax.
Eric puts in a bet with queen high, gets Nat off a pair of 4s. I like that Angry Paul putting a bounty on my head. That's awesome. What if that's 4?
Well, now that's how you ultimately get trolled from the chat room, is you actually get bounties put on your head. How do bounties get put on the announcer's head? How does that happen?
I love it though. Like, if she can convince people to call me down with 8 high, I mean.
Dude, if she's gonna float 20K, bro, just bet $100 and I'll call you and we chop it. Like, what's going on here, man? I think we just made a killer business deal.
A little wink, nudge. I got the deuce 3.
Yeah.
Call it down. It's good.
It's good. Guys, too, don't forget to click that heart there in the bottom left of your screen. That lets you know that you love us and tells you whenever we start a stream, so you can know to tune in.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel.
True, do that so we can have a real name, unlike the UBXYZ924 # crazy name we have right now. There it is. See that name? We don't want that name. We want a cool name, so please subscribe and like us. Thank you. Thank you, Nightbot. You my only friend. Alright, action over to Seth here. And he thought about it and said, nope. Head over to Alan here.
I just unclick the heart so I can click it again. So much fun.
Is he allowed to troll us? Alright, 8, ace, 10, 2 diamonds. Stone cold nut draw here for Alan. 2 of the diamonds. Brian with pair of 10s. I wonder if on these stream nights our Wi-Fi just gets maxed, because you have all the players pretty much probably on the Wi-Fi, all streaming to stream.
Stream the stream,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? Right? I was just like, I bet you our internet takes a taxing tonight, for sure.
Freakish Gamer 671, welcome to the chat.
Feeling from the bottom now?
Alright, let me and you put it 1,000 and flip the coin. Sure.
I don't do good.
75.
TD's gonna open up the pot with queen 8 of spades. Harlan calls quickly with queen 10. Nat's in there with 6s. Brian in the small blind calls as well.
Boom, 2 spades there. Ace, Jack, 9. Flush draw here for TD, along with his straight draw. And Harlan here with open-ended. Nat misses. Brian with top pair. If a 10 comes, oh man, if a 10 comes, it's going to make all sorts of stuff here. It's going to complete a straight for TD. Spades are dangerous. Let's see how this hand plays out. We got Jason with the mystery hand here. So TD bets 2 1/4. Harlan's going to make the call.
Brian top pair. It's going to be really hard for Brian to call here, to overcall after TD bets and Harlan calls. Not a whole lot. I mean, he does have the best hand right now, but he's also out of position. He's going to be out of position on all future streets as well. It's hard to extract value there, and I think, yeah, and I really don't mind Brian's fold there. Queen hits both players.
Look at that. That's just the world for both of these guys here.
I want to diet today.
Check, check.
Oh, look at that.
Disco.
And it's going to give Harlan's just discoing it up. Disco fever here, so he's going to make the straight with the 10. And this is one of those hands where if I'm TD, I'm like, man, I had the world, and I missed everything. How? Why? Dang it. And pot's at 8 1/4. Harlan's going to do a solid little value bet here. What, 300? And TD's like, yep, I already know. I already know. Goodbye.
Yeah, Brian would have got there as well. But I really don't mind Brian's fold on the flop. I think it's, I mean, like I said, it's not so much whether or not, oftentimes, when you're thinking about whether or not you have the best hand, it's, you got to think about how are you going to be able to extract value if you do have the best hand on, future streets. And out of position is just so tough.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be doing just that. You're going to be check calling, all the way.
So, I didn't know if you were a cook. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this is called a recipe for disaster here. We got AD with ace king, and we have Eric with aces. So we're gonna, and then we got Jason with 5s, innocent bystander, who's very gone here. He doesn't even call the original race 80 by Eric. And AD here, this is gonna be, battle of the big blind versus under the gun here.
Surprised Jason didn't call the 5s.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't look up once here and see what happens. Now this is a sweet scenario for Eric. You got to re-raise, 80 to re-raise him here to 200. Oh, it does the look back here.
Yep, those are races, Eric.
And it looks like Eric even has a buddy sweating behind him too.
And the Academy Award for Best Actor goes to Eric for his role.
I feel like literally with the guy's shirt, he almost looks like he has an Air Jordan just floating above his head. All right. So he's going to re-raise.
There's the 4-bet.
And this is where AD is thinking, like, do you really have aces or kings? Because queens or less, we're coin flipping. Wow. Shaq, welcome to the chat room. Steelers, welcome. So raised to 5 1/4, 3 1/4 more for AD to call here. I think 80, he's like, this is serious. I think 80 just stopped his Pandora music for a minute. He's like, I gotta think about this.
I think for 80, it's either jam or fold.
And he is just gonna.
He's gonna flat.
He wants to see, man. I mean, he wants to. He doesn't want to completely. If he completely breaks the flop, I think he obviously puts Eric on a big pair. I don't think he obviously puts him on aces or kings.
He's hoping it's not aces or kings. He's hoping that it's queens.
And this is actually great because this is a board that he can get away from.
I don't think there's a whole lot here to think about it for Eric. I think he's just kind of staying consistent. I think he knows he's just going to stick it right now. There it is. The graphics was 500. It looks like more than that.
I mean, pretty much it doesn't really matter what he bets here. He's betting enough to where 80 is either all in or gone. And he's got his point across here, Eric does with his bet. So at this point, AD is thinking, hey, do we have the same hand, or do you have me absolutely crushed? Because those are pretty much the only options here. We either have the same hand, or you have me crushed. It's one of those two options, period.
On 80 shoves.
I think this is really just, yeah, it's cool. Oh, and
Oh, and the club.
Oh, wow, and 80 actually thought that helped him too. Wow, look, he's even got the king of clubs. Wow, 80 honestly thought he just outran him hard. Wow, and he damn well could have.
Eric was one wrong colored ace away from being super colored.
And that's even the worst, too, because AD told you, how can you not think you caught up right there? How can you go runner to the second nut and not think that you totally, you already feel, before you even flips over his hand,
Sorry, man, I got there.
that's what I mean, you already feel bad about, like, you're already like, hey, bro, you're not going to like this. You already won that hand in your head, you know what I mean? Yeah, see, it's the same thing.
Meatloaf, welcome to the chat box.
Action dealer Mickey there in the box, man. Just putting it out.
Shax, Peener 32, welcome to the chat.
Over to Seth, a little fun hand here. Jack 10 suited. And Seth makes it 75 to go. And Brian got out of there. Looks like. These graphics are just catching up here. I'm gonna wait on Eric here, who is, looks like he's gonna make the call. Alright, look at this. Alright, so 10-4-5 here. It's going to be top pair for Seth and middle pair for Eric.
Seth bets 85 and Eric calls quickly.
Oh! Bingo, bango.
And when it rains, it pours. When you're running good, you're running good.
So this is really gonna just not work out well here for Seth's hand. This leaves Seth drawing with 2 outs here to the 2 remaining 10s in the deck. And he makes the call, ace on the river here. And, you know, just assuming Eric doesn't have a 5 and he only had a 10, the ace can actually kind of help improve your kicker scenario, and that's why he's just going to flat Eric's bet here. He's going to see the 5, and Eric's going to take down the spot. It's good to be good, but man, being lucky is nice too. Whew. We've all been in that scenario though, where you just say, okay, I'll flat you with middle pair or something, then you just turn trips and you're like, oops.
Last 100.
I oops a lot of hands.
Oops. Oops.
It's fine, or I'll put him on his king.
Yeah. Now, it looks like those graphics are correct. Seth folded, then I guess Alan chucked his queen jack as well. We'll see here.
Option.
Nat makes it 100 to go, ace 10. 80 was in no mood to fold.
Did Nat make it 100? I think action's on Nat now. I think, yeah, check it out. I think our graphics are kind of just screwed up here.
Oh, Nat put in the $100 straddle. Is that what that
Oh,
is?
yeah, he did. Okay, that's why it was an option. Okay, solid. All right, so king 4-5 here on the flop. Actually gives 80 the best hand here on the flop with a pair of 5s. Luckily for him, diamonds didn't show up.
And TD's going to lead it. 175.
And that's a pretty rando board. I mean, if you're going to just fire a bullet out at a board, a king 4-5 rainbow is not a bad board to fire out on. And 80's going to flat him once here. 80 loving the turn. This is actually going to open him up to open-ended with his pair of 5s.
Check, check.
And 2 pair on the river. A little scary 4-card straight out there, though. And he's going to check. And the way he did that, it opens up the room here for a huge bluff by AD. It's very believable that AD could easily have an ace, or easily have a 6 there, and he takes it down.
TD thought about it.
He did. I think that's kind of that's why it looked the way he did when he checked on the river.
Yeah.
Because I think he thought about firing, but then just said, "Ah, screw it, I'm gonna check." You know.
I don't think AD was in any mood. It was in any mood to fold.
No.
I mean, you're not in love with, I mean, yeah, you made 2 pair, but like I said, he puts a one-liner to a straight.
Well, and especially after he just lost that big pot to Eric. I think that's one of those, like, like we saw Nat stuck in earlier where it's just like, you know what, am I really running this bad? I'm just gonna call.
Yeah.
And it would have been good there. So
Perfect.
it's actually TD saved himself money there.
Don't bluff stuck people.
Yeah, no, don't bluff stuck people.
People that are stuck love to call.
They call all day.
People, they want to know just how bad they are running.
Yeah, I know. It's like they almost want to see, is it really this bad?
Yeah.
So it looks like we had a queen, jack, ace, king here.
And Nat picks up ace, king, and he's going to 3-bet to 500. Yeah.
Old strategy, Cotton. Let's see here. So 4 1/4 to call by Seth. Now it looks like he's a mystery hand right now. Have we seen what Seth has yet or no?
We have not. Now, like I said, Seth plays a pretty solid game. Plays a tight, aggressive game. Him opening under the gun, he's never really gonna be that. I mean,
he's not gonna
that
be super light. But the thing is, but like right now, for instance, Seth is also not the player who sits here in Hollywood says.
Yeah.
If Seth was gonna fold, he would have already folded by now. I mean, he's thinking about it. He's in a serious decision here. Yeah. Oh wow.
Oh, he jammed.
Oh wow. Oh,
So I mean,
wow.
Seth also is good enough to, we've seen him, he's good enough to open up hands like Jack 10, suited under the gun, so and he can open suited connectors and like that. So
man, that's a huge. He's got to have. I mean, that's scary. So and this is even better that we can't see Seth's hand, right? So Seth opens for 75. If Nat 3-bets him to 500 and Seth can jam back over the top all in, if I'm Nat, this is like the same scenario we saw earlier with Ace King with AD and Aaron. You know what I mean? This is
and Nat calls him.
Wow. Well, we're gonna see, guys.
Once, twice, 3 times a lady.
Oh yeah, we have a board here. No help to Nat. I'm thinking Seth here still with the best hand, and no diamonds for Nat either. Wow, I think Seth's probably gonna have the best hand no matter what here. I think
Should have the first one.
Pocket pair. Looks
They
like.
are gonna run it twice.
We're just, I don't know. I see lots of cards moving. We're gonna find out.
We're getting the 2 entire boards.
Queen jack.
Oh, brutal. There's nothing at all for Ace King. Like now, oh, there you go. Just when I said something.
What's Seth got? Where is he?
Is it King?
Seth jammed Queen Jack.
Oh wow.
Oh, Seth's a madman. I love it.
Three
boards.
3 times. Can we run it 4 times? Right here. 4.
Oh,
man. How many times can you run this? Let's run it more.
Okay, so let me play devil's advocate here.
Oh, he did make a flush with the first one. I think they're just realizing. I think he's oh shit.
Seth made a flush in the first. So Seth has the first board. Nat takes the next 2.
Wow, look at that. They're like the same boards, 5s and 9s and like the deuces. They're like the same.
We took all the queens and jacks out of the deck. Sorry, Seth.
Wow. Next time playing with the pinochle deck, we'll get a little farther.
Oh
Okay,
my
now
God.
this brings up a good point, right? So without knowing Seth's hand, with exactly what you were talking about, I think he demonstrated his image perfect, right?
Yes.
Because you were like opening under the gun, 4-betting a 3-bet, huge bet to 500. It screams, I have a monster, and I think that most players, they're able to blow that player off the Ace King. Even somebody in the chat earlier just said, hey, when you're facing a 4-bet with Ace King, a massive value, what is there to think about? Go away. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, I think that, I don't want to say that Seth misplayed that hand. I think he represented that very well. Exactly with what you were saying.
22.
A couple things going on. One, like I said, Seth plays a tight, aggressive game. But like I said, Seth is also, he's good enough to open hands, like as he should be, Jack 10 suited, things like that, in early position. I mean, if you're going to be playing with good hands, if you want everyone to get your strong hands paid off from front. You also got to be opening hands like that as well.
Yeah.
Seth's played very, very, very well.
Hold on, this is funny. I think they're trying to figure out this 3. How do you chop this pot with it? We ran 3, you won a 3rd.
So we got calculators. Okay, so a couple things. So Seth owns 75 under the gun. A couple players call. Here's something where actually I think Seth's jam is kind of wizard, right? Is Nat's 3-bet sizing. Nat, I would think, you know, if with a rate open to 75, a couple callers, there's only, you know, 300 or so in the pot. You know, I think there's 3 callers. When Nat makes it 500 to go, he goes, you know, 1.6 times pot. You know, I don't think he's ever like super strong. I don't think you're ever doing that with Queens Plus, right? Or even Jacks Plus. I mean, you're trying to get more value out of the 7 hands. You're 3-betting still, but I don't think that sizing. You're doing that with a really strong hand. This is more like a margin hand, you know, something, you know, where you're more fold equity than you're trying to trick value tracks, trying to give yourself a better opportunity to pot. Like getting people to fold, saying like, you know, 5s, 6s, you're making a move with a hand like that. Ace King, Ace Jack, Ace 10. I mean, it's you know, a hand like Ace 9 off. That's actually kind of a nice little move to make. You just over-bet pot there. You have an ace blocker, and then you can just take down the pot right then. It's probably, you know, not the best hand. So I think Seth's realizing that Nat's sizing there, he doesn't have a super strong hand. Ripping, re-shoving Queen Jack there looks super strong. We got JFK in here thinking like, okay, we ran this 3 times, let's just take a look at this real quick. Do we gotta bust out calculators and contact somebody else? Yeah, like I said, I mean, so ripping the Queen Jack there, it's a great play by Seth. And it would have been another thing if he only would have shoved it for like only like 500 more, then you have no fold equity. But when he shoves 2,200 over the top, I mean, it's a 4-bet shove that Nat's now got to call off 1,700 more dollars. Now, if he knows he's got his king, he's not doing it. He's just got to call it and hate it. But if Nat's got a hand like Ace 9, Ace 10, pocket 6s, something that he might be more likely to make it 500 to go free with over that $75 open, then their shoving Queen Jack is killer because let's say Nat does that with Ace 9 off, and now 6 shoves Queen Jack, Nat's full. He's never going off Ace 9. He's never calling off pocket 6, something like that. So then it works great. I love it. I love it on both ends.
No, and actually I think like it's funny that was this particular hand that we couldn't see his hand because I loved seeing you just like get all about it before you even knew it was just Queen Jack, right? You're like, dude, this is awesome. Like Seth's got it crushed. He's basically got pocket jokers.
I was immediately like thinking like oh my god, with that when Seth shoves there, thinking like, you know what, like when that's 3-bet sizing, Nat's supposed to be weaker than Ace King here most of the time, which means Seth can have a lot of worse hands to jam with.
Yeah. No,
I mean, that takes some stones to do that. To actually have the. I mean, most people can't.
Were you paid for that? Were you take some stones to do that? Is that? Yeah, okay, I see.
I mean, most people don't have, you know, the balls to pull that trigger. I mean, that's a big trigger to pull.
No, it's huge.
$2,200 with Queen High. Eat it.
And the funny thing is, like we were talking about earlier, and this goes back to like, at the end of the day, like I said, when Seth plays this game, it's not like, okay, well, I have the money, I don't care, I just signed a contract or whatever, I'll just play whatever. It's not about that for him. He was legitimately making that move, thinking, I can blow Nat off this hand. Yeah. I'm gonna represent a freaking monster. We just saw Aces versus Ace King. It's not like it's out of the question, you know.
Poker happens.
Mr. Optics, what did you miss? You missed everything, dude. I mean, this is going to be one to go back and rewatch.
Wow.
I mean, before the stream even started, we had guys getting stacked, and then their very first. Yeah, actually, you know what? Go back and just watch Brian. Watch Brian get whittled down to $400, and then triple up, and then double up, and then double up, and now you see Brian's got a 6,000. 6,000. So yeah, that's what you missed. Just a little heater.
I love the move by Seth.
No, I do, and I like it even better that you couldn't see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like when they do those when you're watching a show. They're like, all right, guys, let's play this hand blind. What do you think he has? And I'm like, well, according to Jake, he's got, you know, pocket stones for sure.
And then on the other side, I mean it's, you know, Nat's way stronger than he normally you'd expect him to be with that 3-bet sizing.
Yeah.
But for him, I think because of 3-bet sizing, it's an even easier call with the Ace King. I'm not that ever going to can fold the Ace King, you know, the way that hand played out, but He said, well, God, he might think that I'm weaker here because I made it so big pre.
Exactly, because it's so big, I almost see pre-bet sizing be like a middle pair he doesn't want to get called, or middle like upper pair, and he doesn't want to get called like
Or, like,
tens, jacks.
or a hand like you're looking for, and that's exactly. It's almost like you're looking for more fold equity than you are value.
Yeah.
And yeah, God. What a mess.
And they ran it 3 times, which I totally respect, because I don't see that very often. So, and I love the fact that they need to like get out like an abacus to figure out like, guys, okay, who wins what in this pot here? This is gonna get a little advanced. All right, here looks like we got 4 players going to the flop. 10, 4 deuce, 2 diamonds. Not a whole lot of nada for anybody. TD still in the lead here with ace jack high.
First one to bluff out, it takes it down.
Pretty much. So,
After watching this game, how light do you think anyone's going to be 3-betting Seth?
yeah, no, yeah.
God, this guy's just going to try to smack me around with the
I know.
queen.
You're like, I don't want to. I feel like somebody who does that, they realize what they did right after they do it. They're like, I immediately regret this decision. I should not have done this. All right, so now we got a game. Look, this is just right off the bat, right here on the flop, filing 350 from Nat, and he's just gonna take it down. Just get paid. Give that man his pot. I think Nat is definitely in a I'm not messing around mode right now. Nat's
Right.
like, you know what? I kind of played some hands softer than maybe I could have.
He took a few on the chin, and now he's just like grinding his way back.
He took a couple rivers. He got a couple gut shots that were hit on him, and he's like, not anymore, guys. It's 350. If you want to draw out on me, it's gonna be like pot every time. Like, bring it.
Eat it. Twinkies 22, welcome to the chat box. Ask, who is Seth? That is our very own, or former very own, Seth Curry, former player for the Sacramento Kings, now playing for the Dallas Mavericks officially.
Yeah. Before we came here, like 4,000.
Yeah, TD waking up in a hand here again. Tens, they're going around tonight. Lots of aces. All the aces are busy but one here. Ace Jack, Ace 7, Ace 10. And Nat over here on the button was 6-7. Thought about it for a minute. It was raised to 150 from TD.
Now we're back to $50 strap.
Now action over to Seth. Seth is the small blind. It was already a 50 straddle. TD just tripled that up to 150. And now let's see what Seth does.
Seth makes it 350.
Hey, Seth's getting splashy. So I think Seth has been kind of like sitting, a little like on the snugger side some of this game, and now he's getting splashy, and I like it. 450. Well, like you said, man, it's like every time this guy. I mean, he's gonna put you to the test.
But I think you said had a pretty good hand. I was thinking ace king. He's got a.
I think TD right now is running back all the former pots, the move that Seth just made with Jack Queen. He's running back everything in his head and thinking, oh, all in. He jams it.
Here we go.
He jams it, and Seth really doesn't. He doesn't have enough. He's not going anywhere. He's already dedicated in the spot. And actually, with TD having tens, that's one of the better scenarios that Seth could be
Seth
in.
snaps it. I love it.
Yeah, well, that's one of the better scenarios that Seth could be in. Actually, with Ace Jack as coin flip territory here. He's hoping for a diamond on the turn to open some outs, and it does.
There's live.
Oh, no bueno. No bueno for Seth.
And he elected to only run it once.
Yeah. I thought we were gonna run it like 4 or 6 times or something. Have some fun.
Makes the night or what?
No, but actually the diamond on the turn is a solid sweat card. Then he had 2 overs plus a flush draw.
Good game.
Seth, good game, man. Good plan.
I really like the Queen Jack move.
Yeah, I know. No,
so sexy.
Yeah, it's so sexy. It's so sexy. All right, I'll mark that hand down for you because I know you love it. I know you love it.
Everybody gonna be back in sec? Everybody back in sec?
Yeah, I ain't moving. I mean, I'm going to Vegas. I mean, LA for the summer. But I'll be back.
Nah, put the games in LA.
Good game, Seth. Congratulations on the new deal in Dallas.
And of course,
Love to have you back.
And of course, Nat was in that hand. Because Nat's in every hand that I marked
in every
down.
hand.
Stop it. You stop it.
Send that show. Starting him. He's down.
Yeah, I'll probably be later than that.
That's why I just say that. You know me.
TD going back to work.
TD, he's like, man, I'm in.
Pocket
Eights.
eights.
TD downgraded ever so slightly from 10s to 8s.
Live poker's rigged.
Totally. You know who went on a super crazy upswing? Obviously Brian, and then he's just like, you know what? And I'm just gonna chill for a minute. I'm just gonna hang out. I already racked my 400 back to 6K, so yeah, we're just chilling.
It's like there's those all-in or fold tournaments. You know,
I've always wanted to play one of those.
I haven't got to play one yet either.
I want to play. How is that not a nightmare for the dealer? I mean, side pot city, right? Every hand you're probably gonna have 2, 3, 4 all-ins, maybe 2, 3 at least. Now that's all fine and dandy the very first hand, but after that, you have stack sizes all over the place.
Here's what I always say. I mean, whenever cash games, tournaments, all of it. Keep your stacks consistent. You know, 20 chip stacks like that makes it so much easier for cash, especially in that than you should.
In that you have to.
God, I mean, but this game's playing like that. Yeah, it's like all in a fold.
I feel like this game basically, especially at the level we're at and how they're doing it, we should just take off the rim. They should just have hundreds and 25s. Like that's it. Because I mean, pretty much just like 2 towers, go. Because that's the way these guys are doing it right now for sure. There's no shortage of action here. I mean, look at that mound in front of Eric right there. Just the beastie tower. No casinos in Texas. Why would he sign there? That's right. Did somebody alert Seth Curry that there is no Texas Hold'em in Texas?
Right.
Not cool. Not cool.
I feel like it's just like misled.
Not cool. I was out there for work, and that was definitely one of the first things I looked for. Was like, where's the nearest property where I can go? You know, like hang out. Nothing. Yeah, there you go. He's right. I think Shaq's on the money. He's like, I'm sure Mark Cuban can find him whatever poker games he needs with some whales. Don't worry about it. I'm sure Cuban's small home game is like, all right, guys, 25-50. You know, we'll throw around some quarters.
A lot of aces for Allen. 80's made a pair of 7s here.
And he's gonna fire it out. Looks like $1.50.
I don't know if it's good yet.
Allen is somehow fun to call him. Jack on the turn. Check. 475 in the pot.
You're gonna see here 2 1/4, something like that,
Somewhere in that window. Not a lot.
Yeah, he's a little confident right now.
365. Let's see, that might be an 80s threshold here, but I don't think so.
Alright, wait.
I think if 80 doesn't make the call here, I think what got Allen paid was actually the jack on the turn. Him checking back the turn. But yeah, no, he's gone.
80 thinks better of it.
80 says, I don't think so, man. There we go, he shows it.
Shows the ace.
Shows the ace. Didn't matter the kicker. It was good. Way the best.
So, someone asked how long the list was. We got a seat open right now. Not sure if someone's coming to fill the spot yet or not.
So, quick chip count. Looks like there's about 44,000 in play on the table right now. Not a small amount. Not a small amount. 44,000 to play. Get yourself one of those new Tesla Model 3s. As long as you pre-order it now and you wait a couple of years.
Yeah, no big deal.
No big deal.
Yeah, like
Just, they'll release it at the same time we'll announce the Tesla Model 4.
Oh, the Model 4. Well, now I have to wait another 5 years so I can upgrade. Can't buy it now. I'm waiting for the iPhone 11.
I didn't know it. I was just looking at him the whole time to see what he... what Harlan is when he just turned one card.
Boom. 8, 4, 7.
you know what you have
On the flop. A little gutter bowl for TD here. Harlan with King Jack High. And the river is going to give Harlan a check mark here. Monster cookie. Take it down.
Yeah, the last phone like we were waiting for that for a lot. The last phone I bought for the wife, or not the last one, but I thought like, okay, I'm not gonna buy any more phones, something like this, you know, it's gonna be good. And she like, it took her like less than like a year to fill up the entire like thing with like photos.
Oh yeah.
Like, and so then I had to go get the newest phone. So but I'm like, hey, well now this one's got like 3 times or 4 times the storage as the last phone. So I'm good, right? I'm just waiting how long it's gonna take.
No way. Well, here it depends. Did she transfer everything from her old phone to her new phone?
Oh yeah.
Well then, you know, okay, man. I'm gonna come set up your tech world for you, okay, bud?
Help a brother out.
Dude, seriously, if the only way that you think your wifey can take pictures is by buying more, bigger, expensive phones, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be a very expensive trip.
Am I just throwing money at the problem?
Yeah. It's okay though. I got you covered.
Especially when you like see the iPads filled up, like filled up with the entire iPad, filled up with the entire phone. Trying to save this or that, and the other, and it's a mess.
It's a mess. It's a hot mess. All right, Harlan here with 8s. And Eric raises to 150 there. 150 from the mailman himself over to Harlan, who's going to make the call with 8s. And Eric not only has ace king, but he has the button, which is definitely a player who knows how to use it. Most of these guys are recreational. Some guys kind of play it for money. I don't know necessarily what sort of pro level, but at the end of the day, these players are no slouches. I mean, these guys are, even if they're not quote unquote considered a pro, they're not necessarily people you want to get deeply involved with in some of these spots.
And Sacramento's a grindy town of
yeah.
poker. I mean, there's a lot of Nat makes it 550 to go with the 8 tray off.
The ultimate little squeeze play is trying to squeak out here. We'll see.
Eric flats ace king. Now Harlan.
There's been so many 3-bets involving like the flatting of ace king and like ace king just on this massive like 3-bet to 500. If somebody gets ace king, it's like 3-bet to 500 every hand. Man, Harlan's gonna do the classic, I fold, but check out my hand. We've all done that. Hand it to your neighbor. Can you believe I'm folding this? Can you believe I'm folding this? Here comes 888. 4, 5, 10.
Can I get check on 11, please?
No help to anybody here. But that's just the kind of spunky board that Nat could easily exploit his monster pre-flop raise on. And looks like that's what he's going to try to do. 1,300 in the pot. And Eric is not having it. Insta-call by Eric. No hesitation. And I think Eric's probably doing that to help slow him down a little bit. Hopefully that slows Nat on the turn here from firing more.
Brings a double flush draw. At this point, if you're Nat, after Eric flatted the bet pre, you got to give him credit for some kind of an overpair, right?
Yeah, no.
2-fisted bet, 8-3.
He's show it. He wants to show it. He's going to show it.
I got no pair. 9 deuce club.
Oh! Yeah, there you go. Yeah, everybody wanted to see that. Show bluffs, good for the game, Nat. Nicely played. Everybody enjoyed that one. Everybody enjoyed that one. So great.
Nat.
So great. Nat, you know what? Honestly, after that hand, Nat forgot all about those beats earlier. Nat's like, those beats earlier, they don't even matter. They don't even matter. 9K, Brian's smiling. He's like, hey, look, I make a comeback, you make a comeback. Everybody's happy. Whee!
Run me over. You guys are in a pissing contest, and I'm in the middle.
Old 8-3. I never see it coming.
The octocrab. Nobody sees the octocrab coming, dude. Never.
I'm going nuts there. Yeah, Brian, I'm not bringing a hand over.
I love it how he was sitting there. He was so amped when he won that pot. He's just like, I know you want me to show it. He's like, come on, I'll show it. Just do something. Give me $5, I'll show it. Whatever. Here it is.
I'm busy bluffing out of them. Go, man. Lucky I didn't have a couple lots.
Oh, look at that over there. Welcome to the game, C1.
Peter.
Peter, super nice guy, comfortable at any limit. Just play. Just go. Let's play some cards, have some fun.
I gotta give some credit to JFK here for putting together this game, this lineup, these players.
It's great.
Guy is crushing this.
Super great. This game is just fantastically
You're
great.
welcome.
Honestly, like I want to do exactly what we talked about earlier. I just want to get in here with like a couple $1,000 bullets and just see what happens. Right? Like, I don't want to sit down. I don't want to sit down with 10K at this table. I want to sit down with
10 1K bullets.
10 1K bullets. Single chunks, please. All right. So now we've isolated down.
Three bet shuffle and coin flip hands.
That's it. That's it. I don't want to sit down with 10K and get like 5-bet shoves with Queen Jack. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Get me out of here. I need an adult supervision. TD taking it down. Wow, this table is just getting beefier and beefier, like by the minute, man. Just loading up. Now, I'm sure with Peter hopping in there, buying in, adding up that stack, man, are we gonna hit 50K at this table before the close? We might be.
It could happen.
We might be.
Spunky Bunky one. If I haven't said already, welcome to the chat.
Gotta get spunky. Spunky Colmanina. Let's 3-bet shove some coin flip hands. Whee! Court of the night. QOTN. Okay, kidding.
Jason makes it 80 to go. Eric's gonna call King Queen off. TD's in there, 5-4 hearts. 80 now. King Jack and big blind, and he'll defend.
And Jason with our mystery hand here. Original razor.
Cards on the reader. Cards on the reader.
It doesn't help if you sing a song. 8, 9, 10. Boom. Where's Crazy Jack Queen when you need it? So there we go. Open-ended for AD here with a super draw to the and one there if the queen comes. Eric with 2 overs and a gut shot. TD just super miss on this flop. Pitching over to Jason right now. AD fires 125, and Jason's got a flat call here.
Brandon 723. Welcome to the chat.
Boom. 8 on the turn. Proves nobody as far as we can tell, unless Jason's got a little sneaky hand hiding there. 2 possible flush draws here as well.
Today's not players do board check on the 2, 5, and 11. Board check 2, 5, HT. Board check 2, 5. Timing, board check 2, 5.
Looks like 375 from Alan. I'm Jason.
Jason, our mystery hand here. Now, if that stack sizing is right, with 80 sitting about 875, 870, I mean, it's kind of tough spot to be in here for him. That's kind of putting him close to a decision.
If he has 5 and 8, I know, but if I was in that position, I would do the same thing.
And I think 80's also kind of pondering, okay, well, if I do have this draw, if a queen is a spade or a club, am I still good? And spade potential gets there. No help to AD. We don't know what Jason has.
I can call you
Call it turkey. You're not folding the river.
5,000 behind. If there's a same card
And we're taking a look at ace 10 maybe? Jason flip? Maybe I can't tell. Ace 10.
Yes, 10.
I might have had to do some blocking over there.
Yeah, to answer your question, pretty much all of these guys play at Stones on the regular. They're all kind of fixed pillars here.
Maybe I never know. It depends.
There's an exceptional amount of action here.
Brian.
440
Brian.
to spin up to 6K.
You're,
40, it was less than that.
Was it less than that?
You're my hero,
We
Brian.
jammed the 6s, it was less than 440?
Like 380.
380. So we got Brian here cashing out finally. He's got 380. Tripled up, doubled up, doubled up.
Triple up, double up, double. And I'm gonna need like show me how that one goes.
Yeah.
You
Beast.
sicko.
Beast.
Get out of here.
I just gave like 500 and they just gave it to them.
We just gave. We might see it. We might see it. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
The
no.
thing and the other thing. Get out of here.
It's all right. Small price to pay is winner's tax.
Good game. No spoilers.
1025 is a standard game. We spread it out once a month, I think, at a minimum.
We'll stream it once a month, but they'll spread it whenever the players want it. It's here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so what they'll do is they'll always get an interest board rolling, and sometimes when you get a couple 2-5s running here, that's when a 1025 game just breaks out. You know, because a couple 2-5 games get too juicy for each other, and then it just escalates quickly.
Well, what's funny about that, how many games playing at 1025? We've seen some of the 1-3 games you see on the stream that play 1-3 with a $25 shroud. It's like
it's like it's not
with the 5-5. Like the 5-5 will play 5-5 25.
And when you talk about that, some people are saying, okay, well, why would you play here versus another establishment?
Like
At the end of the day, I mean, there's a variety of reasons, but really, I've noticed that all of the games here play much larger than they are. I feel like all the games here, when you go to that random home game and you're playing 25 cent, 50 cent, but you can still leave with like $200. Yeah. I feel like that's what the games are here, right? The 1-2 games, the 1-3 games, they just play way bigger in a good, solid, juicy way, than they should. And it's super upside potential.
80 jams is 9. TD though flops the world with his queen and flush draw. And things really haven't gone 80's way tonight.
God, that's such a huge flop for TD too. A top pair and flush draw.
I have 2 big blinds and 1 small in the back.
Yeah, a couple tough breaks for TD tonight. Or I'm sorry, for 80.
Yeah, absolutely.
Couldn't really get it a lot going. Ran into a lot of hands and got running into a pair and flush draw there.
Honestly, I mean, even looking at every player at this table, there's no safe seat at this table. I mean, every single player here has ran into some kind of sick hands, some sick beats, some sick stuff. There's definitely this is not a safe play game by any stretch of the imagination.
Anybody want a seat check?
Players limping in. Something we haven't seen yet in the game.
I know very few hands have just been like, okay, let's all call 25 and see a flop. Like,
I don't think we had a limp. I think we had like one pot that tried to get limped, and then someone like pounced on it. Like, look, free money.
I saw one pot where it was only 150, and I think everybody limped. There was like one. I remember one. He's gonna do one. Frank the Tank. He's gonna do one.
King 7.
And AD said, you know what, guys, that's enough for the night. I am gonna come back later swinging, but right now it's just not running well. Five on the turn.
Gee, I'm gonna have 1 seat.
And ace on the river, no help to anybody here, so pots of 300. Looks like Alan is gonna check it over to Peter. Oh, there we go. Actually, it was. Peter actually picked up a 7 on the flop, flush draw on the turn, ace on the river, and he's gonna take it. Alan's got nothing on the flop. Monster. And again, guys, take a look at the link that Nightbot just threw in there. Help Stones, help all the local establishments here. Basically, just not get messed with, man. Every year,
fight the man.
Yeah, fight the man. Every year or two, this comes through, and we got to do this little voting ballot thing. So click on that link, punch in your name, punch in your number, click submit. It's real quick, real easy. Helps everybody out here.
Fresh souls.
Yeah.
Damn the man.
That way we can keep doing this fun live stream. Everybody can have some fun. I mean, what else are you gonna do on a Monday, Wednesday night? You ain't doing anything else. You're hanging out with us.
Winstall.
Barreling some 10 1/4.
Barreling 10, like barrel. I didn't mean barreling. This is barrels, dude. This I did not know we went to the gun show. This is barrels. I mean, even in our last 1025 game, I think we capped out maybe around 30K, like low 30K. We're already at like 44K right now in chips, and that's before the next guy buys in. I mean, we're gonna hit 50K probably the next 20 minutes before this stream ends.
I know.
These guys are getting deep. Bosca, thanks for joining us. Have a good one.
TD makes it 85 to go, 9-10 spades. Brian's gonna call pocket threes, looks like. There it is.
Peter's gonna get his solid welcoming package to the table with aces.
It's not even fair. Hi, I'm Peter. I'm new and I have aces.
Hi guys, I hear seat 1 sucks in general because you can't see any other spots at the table, but it's okay because they gave me aces and I'm gonna start crushing.
Small re-raise from Peter. Peter's trying to get TD to do something silly. Oh, I'm at 330. Okay, he had more chips in the hand than I thought.
Yeah.
I thought I saw him grab one white chip.
TD here.
TD's gonna flat.
Gonna flat. Brian's
got a call. You got position, you're priced in.
It's got position. It's 245, and he's getting 3 to 1, slightly over 3 to 1 on his money. He's just, and he knows. I mean, the upside potential's so huge. He knows if he spikes a 3, it's just like pay me all day. You know.
Get there. There you go, Brian.
I think we're working on filling that seat right now. I think somebody's probably on the way there, Spunky. I'm not sure. They haven't filled it yet. I haven't seen. Oh man, aces are flopping aces. Holy gee.
TD's open-ended.
That is happening at this game right
TD might try to take this away right now. If he thinks that Peter's got kings, queens, open-ended, he's got
checks it,
backdoor
obviously, yeah.
And the ace is actually a good card to go along with here after Peter 3-bet and then checks.
Yeah. Oh, and Peter's just, I mean, maximum value out of this hand right here. So Brian really is just kind of thinking about it, but, you know, we all know he's not, he's gone. He's easily gone out of here. Now back over to Peter. Now, if you're Peter, what do you do here? Do you just flat? I mean, it's not like it's a scary board.
Flat.
Yeah, it's not like it's a scary board, so you flat. And then what do you do on the turn? You check it to him?
Depending on what turn card comes off, yeah, I'm still checking.
I mean, I really can't see a turn card that comes off where I still don't fire, like where I still don't check it to him, where I still don't think that I honestly have the nuts. You know what I mean? There's no turn card that's going to blow me off this hand right now.
And here comes the check raise. And this will probably be the end of it. TD bets 480, and Peter is check raised to, I'm looking for the number.
Well, somewhere around 1,000 or something, at least. Yeah, I love it. We're such a glutton for punishment. Everybody's just like, Jack on the turn, ace in the river. Oh, everybody's like, give Brian a 3. Come on, everybody get a piece of this here.
It's like another 750.
So, I mean, here's the deal. Obviously, Peter's repping not only, you know, I mean, obviously he has a monster top set and trip aces, right? But at the end of the day, he's repping at least an ace. I mean, TD knows that he needs to catch his open-ended. It's not like he's floating for a 9 or 10 as well. He knows he's crushed and needs to catch.
And the problem is, Peter had what, 14, 15 back?
Yeah.
He can't call 750 more.
Yeah.
And then with Peter only having, you know, 1,500 behind.
The Brock, hey, what's going on in the chat? I mean, at that point, so a lot of people, you know, it's not a lot of people, but some people may criticize Peter for raising there. But you never know. I mean, what if he just flats and gets, like, I've totally done that before, where I kind of get a little greedy, so I flat, I get tricky, and I try to whatever, and he totally, boom, he just nails his super nut straight on the turn. No board pair. Are you still okay with that? Okay with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, losing... I mean, you know, getting drawn out on, I don't care, is part of poker. You're going, the players are going to get there. To me, the way you offset that happening is by extracting as much value as you can when you do have the best hand. Taking a line that's going to get you most money in the pot when you have the best hand. And And that's how because you're gonna those hands are gonna happen where hey, the villain gets it.
Yeah.
And I mean I am the villain, so it's usually hopefully me.
I'm always the villain.
But
you're the typical Disney villain.
I mean, but that's just gonna. I mean, if you realizing that you accept that, hey, that's gonna happen. Every now and then I'm gonna get unlucky. The way to offset that, you have to make up for that by extracting the value when you do have the best hand.
Look, you know it's bad when you even have our floor man in there yelling, "Rabbit, rabbit hunt! Tell me what it was. I want to know."
Brett and how am I screwing that up? What is it? Brett and Call? Brett and, how do I pronounce it? How do I actually say that? How do we know?
Brett and Call sounds good.
Brett and Call? Obviously, yes. You're ready for 10 1/4. Get down here. Get in the game.
Do it. Even Brock's like, do it. Hey, do it. Do it. And there we go. We filled our seat there. Shoot us.
Fresh blood.
Looks like he said down maybe 5. I think he said 1,500 behind on top of that, possibly. So sitting down probably with about that 2K. Those 2K barrels we were talking about. Oh, 1K barrel. But same thing. Same thing.
Yeah, no. So now instead of like looking like the 3-bet showdowns, you look at the 4-bet show.
Oh, classic.
Yeah.
Now it's
open. Holy.
Are you trying to up your old quote of the night?
Yeah, just sit down with 5 or 6 2K barrels and look at 4-bet shows.
Just do it. It's easy. Bet, re-raise, 3-bet, 4-bet, fold, all in. Wait, what?
Yeah.
not necessarily in that order.
Yeah. That escalated quickly.
I like to do my 3 or 4 bets first before I do the original raise. Really adds that extra fear factor here.
And all we do is deal aces. Happy aces to Jason.
And over there in seat 6, we got 6. What's up, 6? Do it. Welcome to the table. Brian, after Brian going on that heater, he's like, well, what do I want to eat from this lovely Stones menu? Because I can totally afford some food now. And Jason with aces, because we just give away aces here at Stones, guys. Come on down. Wouldn't be surprised if he flops an aces. Well, oh my gosh, and he does. Guys, F you get aces.
Sets for everyone.
Sets for everybody. Oh, and of course he has ace king. Why isn't that the case, Ace?
Oh, jeez.
Why not? Welcome to the table. Right off the bat. Top versus top set. Of course, check. Aces checks behind. Club
Power
potential.
clubs.
Power club. No club for either player.
The Brock, it is a 1K minimum, no max.
A lot like those home games back in the day. Brock knows what I'm talking about.
225 from seat 6.
This is literally first hand. First hand, I almost feel like you should I know it's not like a karma thing, but you should sit down and you'd be like, why do I feel weird about this? First hand, ace king suited, top pair. Does this feel weird to me? Does this?
Here comes a raise from Jason. Jason feels he can get value from any kind of one pair with one club combo.
Now guys, 6's stack size here is incorrect. He says he has 575. He actually has a lot more than that.
He bought it for 2K, it looked like.
Yeah, he bought it for 2K total at the beginning of his hand.
You're in a good spot.
Oh, he looks like he might be going for it.
So he fired and then got raised. Now, obviously he's not worried about a set of aces, but he could be worried about a possible flush draw that got there. So maybe if he can get away from this, that club on the board is actually helping him. Get
very
away,
much so.
Saving some money in this pot here.
The tough spot is when Jason checks back and then raises a later street, that should be setting off alarms.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, that club's gonna might help him get away here.
Yeah. Now, granted, it's you could
turn like pocket queens, pocket kings with a club into a bluff here.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You could turn into a bluff. This is not a bad spot if you're Jason to bluff. But unfortunately for 6 here, Jason's just got the super monster netto. He's literally drawing dead right now. 8 of diamonds, no help to anybody. If it was a club, at least 6 could have got off here. He's going to check, and Jason's going to extract here, probably, unless Jason.
He's going to try to, for sure.
Unless Jason really has him.
And he shows.
Oh, I was like, dummy just didn't do the weird low bet.
Unless you really feel that 6 is the greatest actor of all time. you got to feel pretty good about how long he took to call the turn.
Oh, if he hasn't snap called by now, you know.
Yeah, you know before you bet there's
on the turn.
Yeah, if you're Jason, you're really not worried about a flush there.
Unless he was like you said, unless he's pulling the ultimate Hollywood.
Or yeah, unless the only thing you might worry, even then, you know, you're not worried.
And Six is thinking, man, this is first hand, man. Now, generally, when I see players pick up the cards like that, generally I view that as a posturing fold.
Yeah.
You know?
And depending on what I'm trying to do in the hand, I'm either like very like, yes, please fold,
or yes,
or like, oh.
So like when I bet on a simple bluff and I have him doing that, I'm like, are you throwing us away? Because that would be super.
That'd be really awesome. It'd be so great now if you could just fold right now.
I really hope.
Really.
And then when he sets it back down, you always get scared again.
Yeah, no,
you're like, no,
you were so
doing
close.
fine.
Get rid of the hand. You were doing
You were so close to checking it. You were so out of there.
First
and
hand.
It's his first hand too. That's why it's so brutal. First hand, ace, king, aces, both flop, top ace. I mean, oh, just nasty. It's not exactly a small pot either. So he bought him for 2. He's already fired off almost a little over.
No, the graphics, no, he doesn't have to be behind. He's got looks like about 900 behind.
Yeah, he started the hand with 2,000.
Yeah. So I see 500 in green, 3, 4. So yeah, he's got about a 1K back.
So he's literally almost in for exactly half the stack, and now he's like, do I slap in my other half?
He called.
Call.
Oh wait, they're all over here.
Boom. Brutal.
Wow.
Brutal.
So you're gonna have that.
Beast mode. Man. And dinner got pricey. That's rough. First hand. Ace king to aces, and you flop the case ace. Like, right off the bat. First hand. Ouch.
Blood.
Blood in the water. Brutal. All right, and we have a seat open again.
Oh my god, go-to players like water here.
That's what I mean. Speaking of water. And I'm gonna brag, but if the next player buys in for like another 2 or 3 or 4K, we hit the 50K mark. We hit the 50K in play on the table. Super rad.
No. I'm gonna bluff that before I go to them.
Man, brutal.
And who picked up? That was Harlan picked up, and that's Tiny now. Now we got Tiny coming in C4.
Oh, Tiny. And then we're gonna fill this over. Man, they weren't kidding. We have quite the backup list for this game. This is great. Well, no, I mean, normally you get a game like this, right? I mean, you kind of get a set group of players, fairly deep bankroll. You know, you don't really have a huge list for a game like this, and we're just bringing them in.
Well, I think we also have a 5-10 in the outer tables, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh man, so we're running 2 5s, 5 10s, 10s.
That might be another 10 to 25.
Guys, you know what we're running here? We're running aces and we're running chips. So come on down. There's plenty of both of those here. And you're pretty much like 50-50 to even flop a top set with your aces too. Because that's happened, I think, 3 of the 4 times we've seen aces tonight.
Yeah, the math sounds right there.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You're coin flipping to flop a set. Just trust me on that.
Kings for Allen.
Top pair for Brian.
And the extraction game begins. 235 in the pot, and Allen is going to bet 175. Pretty standard call from Brian.
And let's see that turn. Boom, 9. Complete spades, but no help to anybody. Oh, actually, it gives Allen a flush draw as well with his king.
Service on 11, please, with water.
It's going to block the 10 of spades as an out for Brian as well. I wouldn't quite go with poor Brian, Brock. He's had quite the little swing tonight. Oh, and that 10 of spades is the blocker we were talking about.
Wow, and now Allen checks it.
Interesting.
He thinks Brian is capable of bluffing here.
Wow, well,
and
he
Brian
sure is.
turned his hand into a bluff.
He sure is. And you know, and that's about the price, and I think that's the hand we were talking about. That's actually the hand that right when Brian cashed out, he came by and he said, hey, I gave the dude $500 that I know I shouldn't have, and this was the hand he was talking about. Now, on the flip side, if Allen fires out 500 into Brian, does Brian call? Or does Brian get away from that?
I think
I mean,
I think Brian gets away.
I was gonna say, is Brian forced to lose the 500 there either way? I don't know.
He beats pretty much any non-spade hand.
Yeah, he beats pretty much any non-spade hand. That's the thing, is he's thinking, do you have a spade or not?
It's hard for him to have pocket queens.
Yeah.
Because Brian's got a queen. It's hard for him to have fours.
This game is good, and
it's a great game.
And I was like, come down and get on the list because obviously when seats open up, man, we fill them for sure. So.
Anybody else
And
want
if you think that Alan's just gonna get like super sticky, ace, no spade, then I guess. I guess you can pick Queen 10 for value, but.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that, okay, here's the deal. I think that 5 1/4, I think Brian doesn't necessarily call 5 1/4 on the river if Alan just bets out, but I think that he might call a little less. I think that's right on that teetering point. Hey, maybe 300 or 400. I don't know, maybe, but then it almost looks like a value bet. It looks like a please call my spade bet. I don't know. I'm not sure. Can we play what ifs here?
What is the sentence? What is? I can't write left-handed.
9, just say 950.
950.
Yeah, just say Kings and Brian.
950.
Kings, Alan.
Queen 10.
Brian,
Alan.
Hey, it was the first one I haven't put that Nat wasn't in it.
Right?
That was good.
And I'm just trying to like run through that hand. I mean, if you think your opponents, I mean, the only better hands you're getting to fold are sets.
Yeah. Brock, to answer your question, there's only one table of this 1025 going, but I think there's another 510 or 2 on the outskirts.
That might be a 10 1/4, I'm not sure. But
maybe a 10 1/4, and at least some 2-5s. And the 2-5s, I'm sure, especially with these other games running, are super deep. The 2-5s, I'm sure, are super deep too.
Man, we got a pretty deep one for people building right now too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking out and I see 7 games running right now with a board to start another one here pretty quick. So. Veronica, this game is soul crushing. 1 2K hand. Welcome. Oh, and it looks like we had Tiny do a little seat change over there, and it looks like Eric the mailman has left us. He also, I believe, cashed out up a couple bucks as well.
Yeah.
Solid.
Just saying, if you want to buy a couple commentators, a couple drinks, we're not going to say no.
We're here. And look at this. And jacks. I mean, every hand pocket pairs. Every hand. Come on down. We give out pairs like candy and water. They're free.
No, mailman just changed seats.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
125.
He's not leaving this game right now.
I know. Honestly, I'm thinking like, honestly, if you're killing it, like, how do you leave this game right now?
Hey, Justin, someone's playing with the radio. Someone's playing with the radio. I don't know, someone's talking and I don't know who that is.
Dealer says somebody's messing with the radio. I'm sure it's like some kid on a walkie-talkie. Boom! King 9-9 jacks. Still the best here.
There's some girls like keep going hello. Sorry guys.
All right, and TD is going to fire out those jacks here. Let's get him at 200 into a pot of 4. Action over to Alan, who's thinking, do you have any piece of this? Alan's also got potential for running diamonds as well with the nut diamond.
Alan turned his hand into a bluff here. Nope.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not.
I definitely think raising, if you are Alan and you're going to stick around, I don't think raising is a better option there than just flatting. I mean, to come out, one ace check might definitely be ahead right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that would then lend you to flat. On the other side, if your opponent does have any kind of pair, 10s, 9s, or 10s, jacks, 8, something like that, and you pop them there, you might, you're kind of repping a 9 trying to get value from a king.
Yeah.
And so then you can get better hands to fold. And then you
Well, even that, if you're repping a king, I mean, it's still easy enough to get one of those players off the, off their pair.
Some players are really raising with kings.
Somebody else
on 9-9 Maybe.
Girls talking at the same time.
Like I said, from my perspective, if you're raising there, you're repping a 9, trying to get value from the king. from King and or flush draws. So what's your guy?
Brock, I don't think it's actually written in the Stones handbook that you get a free t-shirt if you lose 2K in 2 minutes, but if you come on down and you do lose 2K in 2 minutes and you ask JFK, I'm sure he'd be more than willing to give you a shirt and maybe even a hat if you're a nice guy.
And don't forget, if you call me down and you're good with 8 high, Veronica will give you 20K from someone else's paycheck.
Yeah, this has been an exciting game for so many reasons.
I'm shutting this off, guys.
Poker Wiz 13. If Alan goes bust, though, at least he can always fall back on his male modeling.
Give that blue steel look. And like I said, we're giving out pairs here. 9s for Jason.
What seat does Eric want to sit in?
Whoa, every time we get to another seat, he's playing musical chairs. I love it.
How does he move his chips that fast?
I know. That's really the most impressive part. All right, Queen 3-7, rainbow here. 9s, still the best. And once again, guys, take a look there at Nightbot. Click that little green heart down there. Follow us. Tune in. You'll get a little notification every time we go live.
Shaq Spinner 32. What's the standard pre-flip raise? 1-3. Drake RX is 18. I think you usually see anywhere from 10 to 15. Most,
yeah,
you know?
most of the time.
Sorry, guys.
And Drake said, yeah, and you get 3 colors for sure. Good.
I might then lower my raise size to 12 or 14. That way I can get like 5 or 6 colors.
Yeah, of course.
Let's play some post-flop poker and see who comes out on the other side. That's all I'm saying. Drake RX says it's expensive to play at Stones or it's profitable to play at Stones. You know, it's all good.
So actually, Mr. Greg Murphy, to answer your question, so our 1-3 game does have a cap until it gets started, and then it's actually table max from there. So it might be a 500 cap to start, but directly after that, you can come in and buy for the biggest stack you want, period.
Yeah.
So come on in.
I agree with Brandon 723. Eric is just moving to extract camera time value.
If he could actually move at every camera angle change, I'd be like mind blown. I'd be like, okay, now this guy's just a magician.
Jason, whose 9s were already best, smacks a set on the river to give him 9s full of 3s. And Alan is legitimately contemplating here whether or not ace high is good. This is not a Hollywood.
Now, I wonder what he's putting him on here where he thinks ace high is good.
I was like, how did you have him in there? Like,
yeah, and Alan just smiles.
So you can see the 9s full or nothing.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's got to be like a super monster. I mean, maybe the 9's full or nothing, but it's got to be a monster, right?
oh, like a few years ago.
Nice.
I was still up here, so
Copy, Bob.
All right, going into the last hand of the evening, guys. Don't let anybody say it's not going to be action-packed like every other hand this entire freaking stream. Man, what a game. Look at TD stacking those chips super high like a beast. Look at that.
Building mounds.
As he should, man. He's been crushing it. A lot of these guys have been really crushing. There's been some, I think, soul crushing. That's tonight's theme. Soul crushing, both good and bad. All sorts of crushing.
Raise it up. 70.
Alan says, last hand of the evening, I am not missing out on a chance to break someone's heart here with the 8-4. Makes it 70 to go.
One more round.
That's it. That's it.
And Alan wins the internet.
I was like, that's probably the least action-packed hand we've had this entire stream. So it's okay if it's the last one.
This is the last hand.
This is the last hand. It's just like, honestly, I'm surprised they didn't all pump in.
Our first under 3x raise.
I'm surprised they all didn't pump in $200 and just run it down. You know, like, oh, let's just see what happens.
Awesome. Pretty damn good game.
Awesome game. Awesome game.
10, 25, 50 it played for a while.
So I always hope the 10-25 game is going to be good, right? But, you know, when you get to that higher limit, you sometimes can get players who play a little more snug. And this was not that. Not even close to that.
No.
I mean, literally 2K shots, one hand, sit down, and we're in and we're out. Like, I mean, that's this type of game.
Nat with the 8-3.
Nat with every hand. I mean, I have a laundry list of Nat hands here. This is insane. This was nuts.
Awesome. What do we got next? Monday is our 08.
Omaha
8,
Omaha.
816. I think we're the only ones that are streaming limit these days.
Yeah.
Do a lot of good things.
Just good things. Good things, good people, good poker.
Right on, guys. That's our show for tonight. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on Monday.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Have a good one.